Hello, and welcome to the circus. It's Sunday. My day's been a day, and we're rolling with it. Let's see if we are live on the Rumbles because they were causing me guff
There we
today.
go. Your camera kind of fixed itself. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, no, it's just I need to stand in front because for some reason I don't know when I reset this computer back to factory settings and I was trying to get things to work. For some reason the driver, it's not recognizing my nice camera, my headphones. I apologize if I sound terrible and look terrible. I can't do anything about it right now. We're rolling with what we got today.
You know what am I choppy? The funny thing is it looks great on YouTube, but then you look choppy on my screen. Am I choppy?
No, I don't see it, at least not on Rumble. I don't have the YouTubes pulled up. But
no, I'm not, because I'm looking at myself now. Echoes are so weird. Like
I know,
that.
that's the funny thing. I don't know where the echo's coming from.
Technology is funny that way.
Do
you know?
Echo cancellation is on. Okay. I don't know. We're here. We're gonna sell. I got a lot to bitch about. Just what we're here for.
I still haven't finished that vest from last week.
No, me.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry. No, I was just gonna say. I took a week off. I needed a week off. I shaved. I'm back from the alternate universe. What did I miss? I needed to take a week off. It was time for a change.
Yeah, it happens sometimes.
But now I'm gonna be running at my Rumble and my YouTube channel. You know why? I feel overstretched because I have like a YouTube account, an Instagram account. I have, Twitter, Facebook.
I would guess there was reasonable platform that just talk to everything. So, I mean,
You're glitching out on my end. You're like roboting.
Okay.
So I shaved and I started cleaning out my closet because my closet is a complete mess. I mean, a complete mess. And look, found a Canada shirt. I decided to clean out my closet because it's bad. And in true YouTube style, I made a video about it. So that's what my next video is going to be about. Is about me cleaning out my closet. Oh, what a world. What a world. Hey, Liz, how's it going? How's it going?
Okay, now wow, that was weird. Everything like died on my. I just saw two icons and I disappeared. I was like, WTF?
Yay, you're back.
I am back. Hey, Liz. I am supposed to be hosting the stream today. I thought it was my stream. I don't know what's happening. We're having a over, which is fun.
Oh, I'm classically trained. When the camera goes on me, I'm like, boop. I got all kinds of stuff to talk about.
I could talk for days. Oh yeah, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, this house coat project. So where am I? Welcome to the circus, everybody. We almost have a quorum. We'll go through the legal, medical, financial, election fortification. We're not here. We are here for entertainment, for laughs, and for sewing. And if we learn something along the way, awesome. If not, that's not really why we're here. We're here to catch. Why do I have a lot of it. And I decided, instead of doing somebody else's challenge for the month of May, to do my own. There's no prizes other than the personal satisfaction of doing it. So I'm naming it Make Do and Mend May, hence the title for today's episode.
I like that. That's going to catch on. I thought that was an actual challenge. I'm going to make it into something. I have all kinds of stuff I need to finish and mend.
I seriously, I think it's from the like World War I, World War II, like the ration era of fabrics and stuff. And so any project is going to be color blocked. There's no buying things. And if you have something, fix it. So it's a little bit of all of the old-fashioned-y things. And partly because I have this, it's my camera, this quilty house coat that I'm working on is probably going to take at least 100 hours. And that I started have pieces for my Irish crochet skirt and gown, whatever it's going to be. That is also a project that's going to probably take at least 500 hours. So I'm like, I don't keep myself focused on these very huge projects, they will never get done. So
do you know what's really funny? Hey, Kilroy, is that you're all choppy on my screen, but you look perfect on YouTube.
All right, well, as long as
I'm going to stop looking at that screen. I'm going to stop looking at that screen.
You don't pay attention to me. I'm looking right on the rumbles, too. But it took me 7 times to get the rumble stream loaded today. I tweeted at them. I'm like, I'm mad at you right now, Rumble. I like you, but you're making me mad.
I actually did that with my phone company. Do you know these glasses don't hit the same without my beard? These are very like beehive 1950s. I like them.
You need a pillbox hat. You don't need anything, but
it's because I'm trying to hide my glasses, and I love these things because they're like just geek and just like godless sewing enough for me to wear them, you know, because they fit over my glasses. I'll be blind. So I've been cleaning out my closet, hence the Canada t-shirt.
Awesome.
I had a good old time. I found all kinds of crud that I forgot about. All kinds of fun items.
Is that usually the way?
Oh, and I don't know how long I've had this chair. I finally attached a headrest to this chair.
Sweet. Yes, he's doing the whole Captain Picard getting ready to go on spaceships. Yes, he's living his Picard fantasy right now, right?
Well, you know what? Things look way different when I take my beard off, so I have to take that in consideration because I have a giant Chad chin. Chad is jealous of my chin. So Isaiah is on Oculus right now trying to convert people to his religion. Everyone hold on to your chair. Isaiah has invented a religion called Normanism.
Okay.
And I've asked him
of Normanism.
I've asked him 1,000 times. It's a cross between Buddhism and Christianity. From what I gather.
Okay, so don't be an asshole and don't be an asshole.
But I've asked him 1,000,000 times. I said, "Who's Norman? Who is Norman?"
Right? Norman Bates.
Kilroy, you have the comment of the day. My chin stops people in the street. I do look like the Mexican Jay Leno. Would that be Juan Leno?
I think so.
Pedro? Well, no, Pedro isn't necessarily. I don't know any Mexican people named Pedro. Luis Leno. That's the name of my new punk band. Luis Lueno. Oh, see, I can't even say it. Luis Leno and the Jewish space lasers from outer space. I will never let that go. I will
No.
never, for as long as I live. Marjorie Taylor Crazy Facer. I can't say her name, but she's crazy.
MTG. Well, what happened at the? I didn't watch. That wasn't even on my list of news for this week. The steak dinner, but I don't know. I think we need
Was
to.
she? Oh, sorry,
Go.
go ahead.
I was gonna say. I think if we have a minimum age for running for president, I don't want to be ageist, but it's going to come out that way, and I'm okay with it. I think we need a maximum age, and I think we've exceeded it by at least 20 years.
You talking about for president or just running for any
For
office in general?
president.
I I agree. I wanted to cry. Okay, and I'm saying this because I've lived my whole life around senior citizens. My parents were senior citizens by the time I was 8. Recently, I can't remember what team it was, but Joe Biden was given a jersey by a team, and he was so confused about what's going on. He took the jersey and walked out of the room.
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of that lately. Like, who did he meet with? What foreign dignitary? And he didn't know, like, you're supposed to walk across the stage and this is where you're supposed to stop. Like, he's not fit for service. And they're going to try to run him for another 4 years. And what's up with the Democrats, like, not having a primary debates this year? Like, and we're just going to back this guy hook, line, and sinker for come hell or high water.
Oh, I like what Kilroy is saying. Do you know what's really funny? When I was a little kid, I still have the book. They ask you what you wanted to be when you were a little kid, and my crazy arse said I wanted to be an air traffic controller when I was 7 years old.
Oh, that's awesome.
I picked the most stressful job in the universe.
But at least you have a known termination date at 56.
That is true because it's known at my job, like people literally have passed away at their desk. Literally. Yeah. I see it all the time. What's that?
As long as you love what you're doing, might as well go out doing what you love.
Well, the thing is, like, my job's really peaceful because I work with people with special needs on a giant property. It has all kinds of facilities and all kinds of fun. And so it's a less stressful job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Not like my job. My job can be horribly hellish.
And like sometimes, and because the mindset of the people that I work for sometimes are like more of a young mindset, it's more laid back. I'm lucky to have my job for as much as nepotism is a good thing and a terrible thing in the same sense. I'm lucky to have my job.
Yeah. Then you get to do something meaningful.
It makes me cocky though, because I won't even lie. When I got online, this drives me crazy because I also work for an outreach that helps homeless children in general. I always say LGBTQIA+, but that's basically the only people that seems to be on the streets nowadays.
Not for much longer the way shit's going, but
true, very true. But like when I would see people say that they're an activist or something online, and I'm like, you sit at home and retweet stuff. Like, come to LA and you'll get a tan hanging out with me in the sunshine.
Right, like Eliza Blue, she's like, oh, that hasn't crossed my mouth in a while.
We need help making bologna sandwiches. And you know what's funny? Like, when people put, like, virtue signal online, it makes me want to Ralph. There's that fine line. Like, I saw this video of this guy. I don't know if he's a professional skater or something, but he was a cook. He made all these really cool bacon sandwiches. But it was weird to me that he put it on, like TikTok, Twitter, and all of that. Am I wrong or what?
Yeah, it does make it seem like if you need to post to the world how you're doing something to help others, Are you doing it really for others then, or that you want people to pay attention to you?
Like a month ago, I changed my ex-wife's tire because her tire was flat. She came over to my house. Like, I didn't post it on Facebook.
Right, like why?
She needed help, and I helped her. You know.
Yeah, yeah, that
It's
makes
just
more sense to me. Like the things that I do that are meaningful for others. Well, partly there's the federal government and contracts I have, but still, that's for me. Hey, butterfly.
hey, butterfly.
It's not auto scrolling. Wow, I apologize if I'm a cranky, nasty big biatch today. It's just my day. So please enjoy Phoenix in the most crankiest you may ever see them.
I agree with you, Kilroy. Like taping it is scummy, and like I'll tell you, we have a ton of outreach programs that help people, and I say this all the time, and people get mad at me, but like even the Church of Mormon helps people. Disney donated millions to the LGBTQIA plus center, which actually helped all homeless people in LA because they give free testing for everything. So people are working at it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But virtue signaling is weird to me. Like I do a lot of commission selling clothes, and I don't like put it in my videos because I think those people have the right to privacy.
Right. Yeah.
Especially because I have a new like most of my clientele is Muslim or Mormon. You can take that any way you want to because those are the demographics of the area I live in.
Right, and they're probably like unless they're like Mia Khalifa, they don't necessarily want to be online.
Most people, like honestly, like everyone I've come across they're just normal people, and they'll say, "Oh, I happen to be this or I happen to be that," you know.
Right. Look at how good I'm being. Why won't you look at how good I'm being? I'm being so good. Come on. Why won't you pay attention to me? Thanks for the setup, Kilroy.
That reminds me. Um, so I stay away from certain. Let me not burn this material. Let me move my ashtray. Everything has to be in front of the computer.
Right, in
But
polyester.
I after this live stream, I will have a video coming out because I do have a real existing YouTube channel. I took a week off, but look at this material.
Look at that paisley in those colors.
It's purple, and the light is not doing it justice. It has a weird teal in it too.
I see that. I was gonna like point like I know where it is. No, like
I do that all the time. But I the lady at Hobby Lobby of all places gave me a speech about how we're Americans and we shouldn't worry about cultural appropriation as I bought like African prints and all this kind of crazy stuff.
oh, that's funny.
But she was kind of like honestly, she's kind of right.
What is paisley cultural appropriation?
Where I live, it's more of a South people from Southeast Asia wear a lot of those kind of prints.
Okay.
And I get mistaken especially when I shave. I get people think I'm everything. I'm a renta ethnic. They're shocked when I tell them what race I really am. But and you know what? I said it in my video. Thank you, butterfly. I love that fabric. I'm gonna make something special with it, and summer's coming. And I say it in my video. Brace yourself for the shorts tutorials. I think I'm gonna make shorter videos of just making shorts.
a shorts.
I've failed at YouTube Shorts, and I'm glad because I'm too old to figure it out. I'm glad I failed at it, so I'm just gonna start making like shorter videos because I want to see if my tutorials hit again. They used to, and then they stopped. People stopped caring, so I stopped making them.
Right. Well, Rumble's a wide open frontier for everything, so I think there's a home for us when they're not being stupid.
That is true. And that's another thing. Like with my videos, now I have to make a video for YouTube and then I have to go back and add all the really cool stuff in for Rumble.
Yeah, because that stupid copyright shenanigans.
And so far, they've allowed me to play all the stuff that I wanted to. And it's really funny that some rando on the internet, and Alibaba knows way better than I do, but how some rando on the internet can own a commercial. And I know this person, unless this person is like, you know, part of the singer fortune. I don't know what you would call it. The
Right.
singer.
Yeah, I don't know. Everyone on my way to everyone on my way to a tutorial seemed like they would be a great in Rumble too. I love Rumble. Good. I'm glad that I'm slowly but surely, even though seriously, I set up the live stream 7 times today before it finally went through. It was, I don't know whether they were tired from hosting the street skateboarding championships yesterday. Rumble was like, sorry, sucker. And I was like, Rumble, you're letting me down. But
Commercials is 40 years old. It's not gonna so.
I mean, if the company's not in business, they are no longer, they don't care about their who's making money.
Oh, it drives me crazy. That's why I'm kind of hesitating to post my video now, because I feel like it's taken something away from my videos, because now I'm so cautious on what I should post or not, because YouTube is no longer specific with what they block. They literally just block your stuff or threaten
Yeah,
you with a copyright strike.
yeah, there's a, oh my gosh. It was funny because I was watching one of the lawyers who does copyright law, and he got a DMCA takedown, and he's like, "What is even happening? Like, YouTube has no their terms of service and their strike policy is so ambiguous and unclear. Like, cut your own commercials."
Kilroy, you may have just invented something. Hi, I'm Godless Sewing. Are you tired of the same old fill in the blank? Work in progress. Patent pending, patent pending. I like it. I like it.
Trademark.
As he's wearing a Canada shirt, I cleaned out my closet. I had so much fun. This week's video doesn't even show how much fun I really had. I found stuff I forgot. I have my furry coat that my grandpa bought in Russia. I found all my overalls.
And you're like, I didn't know I had that many pairs of overalls.
That reminds me. Did I put my San Cisco? I probably put my San Cisco stuff away, but like I reminded myself as well, like I used to hand sew. I was obsessed with slow stitching and San Cisco, and I need to get back to that.
Yeah, that's how I started my live streams. I was sitting and hand sewing.
It's such a calming, fun thing to do. Like people, I would always have my hoops and I would be in front of my son's school sewing. It always started conversations with people because they were like, especially when I started making my patches by hand.
Yeah. Oh, what? I just had a disaster. What just hit? My stupid.
Yes, Butterfly, you inspired me. You actually inspired me, and I cleaned out my closet. It took me 3.5 days. That's why when I say I took a week off, like I stayed off of Twitter, I stayed off of Instagram, I stayed off of everything.
I know. I
Oh,
almost messaged you. I was like, "Are you okay?"
I can't see you on this, but I can see you on the replay because it's a good 15-20 second delay. That's awful. That's disaster.
I know. I don't even know how to. I think it got cooked up with schmutz, but now how do I put this back together?
I think it's coffee time in Sewing Land too. So I don't know if you can see it, but these are owls with giant eyes.
Yes, Kilroy. I think now is a time. I. What? Okay, here's the shuttle.
I've actually,
Just,
you know, do you know what's so funny? In all the sewing and everything that I've got done in the past week, I still haven't finished the vest that I started last week on your stream and didn't finish on mine as well. But it's early. I'll finish it either today or tomorrow.
right.
And plus, like, whenever I release a video, there's that weird, like, okay, I did everything I was supposed to do. Then I sit around and I'm like, okay, on to the next project.
Right. I know. Did I get the buttons in? Did I do this? Okay, so here, what do I put in? Where? Oh my god. What do I don't even, I'm gonna have a meltdown. Okay, bobbin case, set you aside. All right, so I've got the bobbin shuttle and the other faceplate. Now, how do these things go back in? There's a screw. What the? Do I need to?
You
All
still
right, we might have a live sewing to somebody might need to come in and rescue me. All right, let's see. Can I unopen the screw? We're gonna go into
Of course, when the camera's not working, Dr. Sewing is right here.
I know,
have to see it
right?
on a delay. Do you think if I jump out and jump back in, it might help the camera?
Oh, is that the screw? What the?
Oh,
it looks fine on my end. Ooh,
your camera is literally stuck, and it gets stuck in the weirdest positions. Like right now, you're like this. Well, opposite arm. You're like this.
Maybe I'll step out and jump back in.
Well, blame Canada. Blame as I'm wearing this shirt. This is the one shirt that I actually went and there you are. I went to a sewing retreat and sewed for 3 straight days. I would show up with so much stuff it wouldn't be funny.
I know that does sound like fun.
Butterfly, that is such an LA line. Hey, if you need a sewing machine,
I know, you're right. Unfortunately, the 900 miles is going to be a problem. But okay.
Thank you, Kilroy. I would show up. I have a giant 25-foot long truck. I would show up with all my fabric. Is this relaxing? And generators. A booster because I need Wi-Fi because I'm a modern human.
Right.
So, speaking of modern humans, the screen's messed up again, but that's okay. Technology is it's not aligning today. As an atheist,
it hasn't been aligning since Mercury went retrograde and decided to fuck me in the fanny.
You literally said what I was about to say. So Mercury must be in retrograde.
And I've been having issues since before it started.
I'm not fun though. I'm not fun because I'll like get in a conversation with someone and they'll be like, "What do you believe?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm an atheist. I'm just talking." So I'm not fun in these. So Kilroy was like, "Wait, they have sewing retreats. I want to go. Can I send myself on a sewing retreat?"
Right. Okay.
I actually crashed a rug hooking retreat. Oh my god. Yeah. Making rugs is a chore. I saw someone make a rug and I was like, oh, I don't know if I have the patience.
I did one latch hook thing and it's not my... Oh, okay, we got Brunhilde's bottom out. Okay, rest, baby. Okay. Oh, gosh. Oh, okay. Wow, we're going to hear more screaming and swearing than I've ever done on a single live stream, and we're not even an hour in yet.
Butterfly, how do you think people, well, I already know how people would react if I walked up. But I've been to a bunch of sewing conventions, and like people are they're just good people. Especially when they're selling something and they want you to buy their stuff.
Right. Okay. I think. Well, I'm not going to speak too soon. We don't have the bobbin in there. All right. Bobbin shuttle put back together.
I need some powerful medication to make a rug. Rug making is a calling. And you can kill a sewing machine doing rug making. You really have to love sewing to make rugs.
All right, let's get this pastry threaded and see if I've never had that shuttle collapse. It was so filled with gunk, though. I was like, oh, we're filled with yarn snarls. No wonder you hated me.
Oh, that's kind of what killed my Husqvarna. It was so caked. I didn't notice every time I cleaned it, I was missing a piece, and it was so caked it almost made it inoperable.
Mm.
Poor guy. I miss that thing. I've moved on to my baby lock, though. I've graduated to a better sewing machine. I'm like that. I used a 1980s sewing machine because I was just loyal to it. I had a brother. It's a VX 809. If you ever spot a Brother VX 809, I'm not kidding you. I will give you my address. I will give you money, mail it to my house. I love those machines. And it's just an old cheapy 1980s Brother sewing machine.
Oh, Butterfly's hands need a vacation after that. Would need a vacation, but I found my Kenmore. The model is 15516 for my very first sewing machine. I do have all of the original. I've got all her PIPAs and the original manual for my mother-in-law.
Where are all my telephones? Oh.
I know. Okay, one telephone. Where's my other telephone? Oh,
well,
there it is.
I can't see your screen, but then when I looked over, I'm like, oh, I see the manual now.
Oh, right, because I'm behind.
No, for some reason the screen, like I'm looking and I you're locked. Your screen is just completely locked. But like I've had so much Wi-Fi trouble lately. I thought it was my Wi-Fi, but it's not because I'm watching on the other computer and it's not.
Right, yeah, because I see it on. I don't see any glitches on Rumble. Just me complaining.
Butterfly. I made every cloak in my early videos. I would put my Husqvarna forward because I wanted everyone to see my fancy sewing machine online. But really, I was sewing with my Brother VX 809. And it has more of a quilting arm. The thing was a beast. The thing was an absolute beast. And I've destroyed 2 of them. How's your preaching going there, Book of Norman? Just be careful, okay? People are cruel. You are such a good person. Human beings say the most awful things to people. Just, take it with a grain of salt.
Right.
People would never say things to your face that they would say online, ever, in a trillion years. Human beings, some people are nice, but other people are just flat out cruel and trolls. But quite honestly, like with my experience of being online in general, I've come across like every fifth or sixth person is a troll.
Right. And it's funny how that's a good segue. How you're online, like, okay, so this whole Steven Crowder divorce debacle and that 3-minute clip from his security stuff where he's being nasty to his wife. It's like, we're not in their business. We have no context. Like, we don't need to sidearm commentate somebody's divorce proceedings.
I'm going to tell you, my ex-wife and I are friends. Like, I will go out of my way to help her. If you saw how we treated each other 11 years ago, you wouldn't talk to either one of us. We did not need to be in the same room. Like sometimes some people should be divorced, and I'm not the. I despise Steven Crowder. I think when he walks, he leaves a slime trail. But like I've been there, I've been there. So I'm not gonna say anything bad. Especially, you're right. You're right. I have there, man. You know, I'm just gonna say this. Like, and I used to always jokingly say this, but like, I used to think I knew what hatred was, and then I got married.
Ouch.
Now I know what real hatred is. Like, real, like you're sitting in your car, like, I hate that person.
Oh, man.
So, divorces are, I'm not defending anyone, but divorces are not fun.
It's been going on for 2 years. There's the whole custody battle over the twins. Like, it doesn't matter if you like or dislike somebody's opinions. Their divorce and their personal matters are their own, and we should just keep our hands off. I'm not touching that one other than to say what I've said about it.
Oh, yeah. My ex-wife and I, we fought for almost 3.5, 4 years in court. Do you know, we always jokingly say with the amount of money that we spent, we could have went around the world like 6 times. So,
oh, God.
I don't judge people.
Oh, hold on a second. You didn't go to the garage sale and get my stuff? Okay, sorry. My human came home and the neighbors are having a garage sale, and I know I'm getting ready for my make to amend, which involves a no buy. But today's not May 1st yet, and there's a bag of lace curtains that are going to make the cutest tops that I'm like, they were like, name a price, and I was like, $2 for these like 40-year-old curtains. These like $2 a piece. I'm like, I'm going to have to think about information at the garage sales. Like, that should have been a $2 bag easy, not $2 a piece.
You know what's so funny? In my neighborhood, when people have garage sales, they come to my house while they're putting the signs up. They're like, "Hey, just to let you know, we saw you at the other guy's garage sale. We're having one too." Someone offered to buy my truck today. I gotta get rid of that thing because it's sitting in front of my house, and creepy people come to my house and offer me money, but not enough.
Right, and not for the right thing. Well, I guess it is for the right thing. It's for the truck.
And Kilroy, I'm not saying stay single, but stay cynical. You'll live longer.
And marginally happier.
But you know what's really impressive? You know what? I'm going to give my ex-wife her flowers because she's not here and she won't be watching this, even though she might, because she has figured out my social medias. In 1 week, a week ago, she walked in here and her life was in shambles. She had broken up with her husband. She had nowhere to go. Here it is exactly 7 days later. And I dropped my son off at a house and I checked and she's renting from someone that legally actually is renting the house. Like, she has her stuff together.
Oh, good.
She had a house.
Well, she learned from the first time around that she needs a place for the kid to go. It's easier the second time. Like, the first was the dry run.
And I'm nosy. I walked in. I gave Isaiah my other cell phone. I said, "Here, bro, keep this." He said, "Okay." I have Life 360 on my other cell phone, on all my cell phones. That house is legit. I checked.
Right, there's no crackheads, and you feel all right letting your kid go there.
I'm impressed.
Awesome.
Gee, but you know what though? Like, I always jokingly say this. Like, my generation, we would be rich anywhere else where if the people that I know, if we didn't live in Southern California, we'd be rich. if I lived anywhere else, but we're functionally like we're right above the poverty line here. But if I lived anywhere else, I would be functionally rich. But here in California, I'm like barely making it, and I have a good job, and she does too. So, you know, it's just
I
hard with
don't know,
housing.
but houses around here start at like $400,000, and they just go up northwards of that.
My rinky dink house starts at 9.
Holy shit! We got a 3-bedroom house. That's not
That's
rinky
for a
dink.
3 bed. Well, no. I'm just saying,
Still,
like,
yes,
for that much money, my a friend of mine showed me that in Colorado, I could for the same property the size of my house, I could have a 3-bedroom house in Colorado.
Right, and then right, yeah,
With property, you know.
right.
That's why the new neighbor that moved in, I look at him, I'm like, bro, you're rich. Like, you have to be rich. He's probably a cop. That's most people that can only afford to live around here.
Oh my god, the selling gods hate me today. I'm just that happens sometimes.
But if I don't know if you remember when I first started streaming and I told you someone I grew up with literally moved in from a condo to a castle in Dallas somewhere. It's like a 9 or 10 bedroom house for the same price in Texas. And every time she shows a picture, I'm like, dude, you live in a castle. Like her living room is big. Like, it's unreal. It's unreal.
Oh, okay. I remember as a teen thinking I'd like to live in California for a while. Then I grew up and saw that it's not the 70s anymore.
You know what? This is still the place to be. It's just no one can afford to live here. We have cool stuff, cool people. Some of some of the nicest people on earth. It's just I don't know who can afford to live here anymore, or their parents didn't hand it to them.
Right? Yeah. I've been not depressing myself, but I try to search out if I took a long time not paying attention to politics and foreign affairs really, and now I'm like, all right, human, you really can't keep your head in the sand any longer. So I've been trying to find folks to listen to. So like I like the Duran, and then I've been listening to Future Conflict, and man, oh man, the stuff that's going on, like in the Sudan, Africa, the world is going crazy. And the funniest, it's not even funny. One of I don't remember her name, but somebody was trying to propose that by 2030 the military should have only electric vehicles. And they were like, they're like, and we're going to have a truce every 2 hours so that we can recharge and all these things. It's right. Like, the world is laughing at us because we have no concept of like things that really need to be managed and dealt with.
Okay, I have an idea.
All these social things, and we're like, like you guys are dumb.
So if they're gonna get rid of, they can do that. But then I want like 15 tanks. I want like 6 Chinook helicopters and 1 fighter jet.
I would like to go to the surplus store, please.
Yeah, I think you can give it to me. You can give it all to me then. Like that's awful. We're up on the 25-year, or I need to look. I just watched a thing about the documentary of when the man stole a tank in San Diego. They literally could not stop the man. It was one man. It wasn't even firing the guns. He was just running stuff over. They couldn't stop him.
Right.
This electric vehicle stuff has gotten out of hand because we're, like I always say, for a lack of a better term, our minds leap forward, but our souls lag behind. So it sounds good on paper, but you're not going to put that into actual practical use ever. ever.
No, like a tank that goes 2 miles and needs to be recharged like that. What kind of stupidness? Like, it's just not. And then it just diverts, and everybody's like, oh, the green energy, but the windmills, what were they saying? Like, have a 20-year lifespan. You can't recycle the parts, and then it's defunct. Like, green energy sounds great on paper, but it's costing more and not as sustainable right now as we were sold in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, they pushed the date back actually, Kilroy, because it was 2030. But yeah, they're so by 2030, all vehicles in Southern California have to be electric. And they pushed the diesel ban back because what about I don't think people realize how much stuff that we get shipped from Mexico every day. Every day.
Right?
They support us. And like they don't care about electric vehicles. They don't care about they just want to get their stuff in and out, you know?
Right, this like virtue signaling of like, oh, we're this good because we do all these great social things, but we're not even good at those things. Like we become the greatest country in the world to the world's laughing stock.
Because I know way too much about plastic surgery. I know way more than I should because I live in the land of plastic surgery. We have a CC limit here in America. Okay. In Mexico, they do not. That's why people go to Mexico and get certain surgeries.
Mm-hmm.
Like there isn't the Brazilian butt lift is deadly.
Yeah, you can't sit on your butt.
It kills like 11 people a year, or like I heard some crazy statistic. And there are other surgeries where it kills 0, like collagen, like people don't die from it. They get weird offset, you know, like things can happen, but no one's
They don't
dying.
look right afterwards. But
yeah, you look crazy, but we're, you know, like, honestly, we're so screwed. What's gonna happen is everyone's gonna end up moving over the border to, you know, Arizona or Nevada or Oregon,
mm-hmm.
which is happening right now.
Yeah, well, Oregon had their own thing. I guess the city of Eugene tried to also do one of these, like, be on natural gas stuff. So then the gas company sued the city. They were like, screw this.
Gilroy, all unnecessary surgery makes me hurt. I cannot watch. I don't care who you are, what you are. I cannot watch. You know what's funny? I used to be able to watch like people falling off of videos. I'm right now on Twitter. I don't know. I've fallen into this weird thing of watching these really morbid videos. I can't watch surgery videos. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. Like, oh, the BBL, all of it. It just grosses me out. It makes me grab my backside.
Right, just do some more Romanian deadlifts and some reverse lunges and curtsy squats. Like, you can grow a butt.
Okay, I'm not going to let out too much personal information, but I'm extremely unhealthy. I do 50 push-ups a day. and it keeps me semi-healthy. It keeps my heart pumping. It keeps everything in place where it should be. And I'm not doing 150. I'm not doing 250. I'm doing 50 throughout the day. You know?
A little bit overtime adds up. And as long as you're getting your 150 minutes of, I can't, where am I? Cardio for your heart and lungs. Look, you can't see. They're there. My heart and lungs are off camera.
I try to go walking too every day.
Yeah, good.
That reminds me. You know, our schedules are off because Isaiah's here because he's usually with his mom, but like
right.
she was a little overloaded because she had the baby. Oh,
hey Skits.
Hey Skits, how's it going? How's it going?
Right. I have a soothing project. So I have this piece of very sheer, not nice feeling fabric that, oh, I'm going to drop stuff. And this I are all these little motifs. So I've got a sleeves and a yoke. So I'm going to draw on a base, put on a roll template, do some gathering stitches, and have a quick rewarding project because I need something fast and easy right now because I'm tired of frustrating and long for a second.
You know what? It's ironic. That's the reason why I started making my vest, because I needed an easy project because I was so tired of like lining this and making this piece and cutting out this pattern and doing this and it's literally just sitting here on the table.
Sometimes the things that are supposed to be quick and easy are the ones you're like, what this why are you taking so long?
I have this, I'm like in this weird collar phase too right now. Like I have a video coming out after the live stream eventually when I find a good thumbnail. That is it. That well, YouTube has literally really been hammering me lately, so I've lost my love for like because before YouTube, I used to just sew. I just like
Yeah.
I had so many pieces, I had them in storage. You know, I didn't know people posted their W's.
Yeah. Or their L's.
I completely forgot what I was going to say because that setup took me so long. Oh, skits. Send me a D. Well, I'll put it in the group chat. Isaiah had an idea for veterans, and I want to run it past you, but because it's legal, actually, I can say it online because it's legal in California. Can you donate marijuana to veterans in general, like to an organization, to give it to veterans?
That's a good question.
Could I be like, here are these viable plants that they're like perennial, if you plant them every year. This is a gift
Right.
that
I can see it probably being easier to donate the plants than the final product. So you're like, hey, here's your annual tomato allotment.
because I have these like seeds that I grew last year that like I had such a bountiful harvest that like I was literally still drinking this stuff up until like 2 or 3 months ago. I was still making tea. I had a pillow size thing of it. Weed for warriors. Oh my god, I'm there.
Oh, even that is a good name.
Because like last year, it was fun at first, and then the Green Acres song started playing, and I was like, uh oh. And I'm sure around here somebody would love to take that donation. See, that's a cause I can get behind. Like my organization, you're not allowed to give even if it's legal, you can't give marijuana to homeless people.
Yeah. Well, it's probably part of it has to do with if they get federal funding because it might be legal in California, but it's still a federally controlled substance technically.
That's exactly what it is. There's a whole list now because, like, in certain places, mushrooms are legal.
Yes, like Oregon. Well, actually, everything is decriminalized in Oregon at certain levels. So what do you want? We don't have it.
Like I said a couple videos ago, where I live is a great place. Don't move here. I love you, but don't move here.
Feel free to visit, but you must have your entrance and exit papers stamped.
I like that, Kilroy. Highs for the homeless.
Oh, that's good.
I'm the kind of person that, like, I would hand out dubs. Like, here, man, life's hard enough. Here. Like, I am that kind of person. If I have a fat nut, like, even recently, my ex-wife was like, oh, I'm hurting. I was like, here, take this whole jar. And don't tell anybody. It'll ruin my reputation. Here. But you're right. It is because it's federal.
Right.
But like, because also I have the happenstance of coming across a minor, like in the state of California, we have laws.
Yeah.
We have laws here. Like our police cannot speak to minors anymore. They physically cannot speak to them. They have to call a number, and they have like a child's lawyer advocate. It's crazy here in California.
I keep getting for a loss of words. Yeah, that. I don't know. Sometimes kids do bad things, and they need to. It's like rent a parent.
I was raised with like Roman style accountability. My parents didn't mess around. So I think everybody should be held accountable for everything. But I was raised in a rigid way. So maybe like I raised my kid like a hippie. So it is, you never know. I was raised with rigid discipline. And I chose not to be. My sister, she'll fight her kids. Me, no, not so much.
Well, I mean, every kid needs their own parenting style, and not everything is right for every human.
True. I just don't see a point in to me, corporal punishment, like if you're too hardcore, you end up creating a liar.
Right, and a monster. Or a serial killer.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're gonna say anything they can to get to just so you don't get upset. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And whether they realize it or not, they become a liar. Because they're trying to get out of a situation.
Mm-hmm.
Or in my day, we used to call them Roman Catholics.
And then they send you the confession.
We were just held to a different standard. That's all. And I don't think it's a good thing at all.
Because it's just different.
Highs for the homeless. That's why I'm so tired right now. Do you know what's so sad? I work so much on like from Thursday on that like this is like my Friday.
Yeah.
I look forward to this I look forward to this. I was surprised at how often a few VFW meetings turned into a smoke session. Skids. I was raised around the Vietnam veteran era guys in the 80s, and all they did was smoke and drink. All they did. The one thing I've gotten from people I've known who have been parents, it's a big bullshit fest when you're making it all up and hoping it works. Yeah. That's real.
That sounds like parenting.
I think about that all the time. I look at my mom and I'm like, now that I know you, it's a shock that we all made it. Now that I know you well, like...
But that you guys didn't harm yourselves or that she didn't off you? Or both? Hey, Hands, maybe you shouldn't answer that question right now.
Oh, he knows. He knows. You can see it in her eye. Grandma is so nice to him, but you can see she don't mess.
Of course, because she doesn't have to keep him.
You know what though? You know what makes us in my family, the one thing that makes us the most evil, you can kind of see it now. My eyes are so brown you can't see my pupil. And so it trips people out. And my mom is Caucasian and she has these jet black eyes. Yeah. And so it scares people because she has black eyes and it scares people because when you can't see someone's pupil. My ex-wife used to always say that we were demons.
Oh, well, then maybe that's why we get along, because I may or may not have similarly tinted, very dark-colored eyes. I'm pasty, except for my eyeballs. Well, I mean, sclera. No. Words. Nothing's my friend today. But I'm glad we got to have sewing disasters that I've never had to deal with before with Rhode live on air, and we fixed it. So.
Fixing the problem is always a beautiful thing. You know, there's always going to be a problem. Your bobbin's going to break. When the bow breaks, now it's when the bobbin breaks.
Right. Where the shuttle just like falls apart in your hand and you're like, where did these pieces come from?
I'm not kidding you. I had a mid-sewing life crisis when my Husqvarna broke down.
Right.
And I stood up and I was like, wait a minute. I'm in a room of effing sewing machines. I like had this like total like revelation of like, you are a sewing machine, sir. You've been spending the past years collecting all these machines. Like, I was fine. I was literally sitting in a room of sewing machines.
Right, and if nothing else, you have a needle, thread, and a thimble. We don't even need the machine. It's a crutch when the levee breaks. That's when the lever breaks, the levee breaks.
Damn right. You know, I was thinking about that because I have a coat that I constantly look back at that like I made that thing when I had no idea what I was doing, and it's better quality than something that I would make now.
There is something magical about a nice back stitch.
And I made the whole thing by hand, and I'm product placement. I'm drinking you know, ever since I quit drinking alcohol, that sound still reminds me of a beer. Sorry, guys. I drink
a can top poppin'.
I drink soda.
I know. I almost went over to the corner store to get a Diet Mountain Dew today. I was like, maybe I should have. Maybe that would have fixed all my problems today. And down will come Godless singer. Oh, that's a bit outside. Don't leave on that book. That's not ours.
Skids, you think I'm playing? I'm gonna show up in your hometown with bibby overalls on and a banjo. Yeah. I'll play on the corner.
Yeah, Loki's puking.
I'm sanitizing everything right now.
Your quartz-sized coffee. Well, he doesn't want to have to go to the little sewing room too many times during the stream. I might, on the other hand, need to run to the little sewing room. We'll make it last a little bit longer.
This time of year, I used to drink a ton of what I call hillbilly iced tea. It's sun tea, you know?
Right.
But I would get so juiced from it because I drink caffeinated tea. So I switched to lemonade last year, but I don't know what I'm going to make this year. I made so much lemonade, fresh lemonade last year that I'm kind of sick of it. And then I would mix it with pineapples.
Maybe you should just make it into an Arnold Palmer.
Ooh. Could you make a sun tea Arnold Palmer with actual lemons?
Yeah, why not?
That's not a bad idea. It all started a couple years ago because my friend Linda, who makes the blankets for all the homeless people and clients and everybody, she has a lemon tree. And she showed up at my house and she's like, "Here's 10 pounds of lemons." So I started making lemonade, and it's amazing. But years later, now I make my own.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I think you could just throw the lemons in with the tea bags and set it out in the sun. Why not?
People are so disappointed when they go in my fridge and they find out that I actually eat healthy. I just look unhealthy.
No, they just don't look into the freezer. You're like, oh, that's all my kids' food. You don't see my 12-year-old self eating food.
Is that Myers lemons? Kiro, you have a I really need to put my glasses on. You have bad memories of sun tea. Believe it or not, I'm Captain Overkill, so I put too many tea bags in there, and my tea's leaded. It's medicinal. So it'll make you sick if you're not looking.
So you just make the sun tea concentrate and then use that for the next 3 days, watered down 50%.
And you know what's really funny? Something ate my chili plant.
Somebody was brave and had
Something
no chili.
has. Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's cats because cats aren't stupid. It has to be an opossum or a raccoon.
Yeah.
But something ate my pepper plant. I was really shocked because I was making chili. Oh, I'm sorry, a salsa. In the Mexican Spanish world, they call it chili. They literally the word is chili, but they're really talking about salsa.
Okay.
I really think the last batch I went off, and all I know is I got a bad stomach ache. Same thing happened to me. Same thing. It's. Is there such a thing as caffeine poisoning, or is it just like?
Oh, yeah, no, you can have too much caffeine.
Because I drink a lot of coffee, and if I mix coffee and tea, I get physically ill. Like right now, if I was to drink a cup of tea, I would get physically ill because the amount of caffeine I've had since I woke up this
Yeah.
morning.
Oh, it's after spending 4 years in the South, sweet tea holds a special place in your heart. I I do not like to drink my calories and my sugar like that. Like I have friends from the South. I can't do the sweet tea.
Right here, guys. Right here. In this arm. This is my good arm, even though they're both good. Sweet tea right here. I'm addicted to sugar. I'm an American. If it has salt or sugar in it, I'm there.
I no, the fear of the diabetes runs too strong in my brain.
I like honestly the past I told you last week. Sometimes I think I have the beaties. I need to get checked badly.
Yes, I thought we're gonna have a date for getting our labs done.
The problem is I'm proactive, and if there really was a problem, that means I'd have to do something about it. And I don't sit around.
Well,
Like
it's better to know now and fix it than to, because we already went through what you want to be able to see and you want your dick to work.
I've had a good run with both. Give me some pancakes. No, pancakes. If I can still eat chili fries, just let me do this. Both have got me in trouble. I'm good.
What, your eyes and your dick? I mean, I know. Yeah, probably. Yes.
Mega trouble. And butter is a food group, damn it.
Okay. My family line is designed to make it through the famine. So I look at food and you're like, and you're a fatty.
I have to tell this story though. I have to. No medical advice or help, but I knew a man who lived in Tillamook, Oregon, that would jokingly drink butter soup, and he would brag about it. He was dead at 49, and I'm not kidding. It's funny, not funny. So butter is life, but just be careful.
True. Well, what is this like Tibetan butter tea? That just sounds weird.
The problem is with the American Constitution, we're already eating stuff that's bad for us. So when we add things that are already bad for us, it's gonna take us out.
It's true because we don't move, we don't get off our fannies, we're like, yeah, we don't need a world. We're just killing ourselves. The rest of the world is just going to be like, hey, there's this huge plot called America. They all killed themselves.
Well, when I moved to Oregon, I didn't realize like in LA, we move around a lot, but we're in our cars. So we don't move around as much as we think we do.
Right.
When I moved to Oregon, people walk and they bike and they're like, we're going to walk to the store. Are you crazy? You're driving your car? What's wrong with you? The store's right here. Like, I have a grocery store in my neighborhood and I drive to it. When I lived in Portland, that was unheard of. Like, you would literally either get on the bus or walk to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Ew, I saw fried butter at my last county fair.
That just sounds gross. I don't need deep fried butter.
At the Bakersfield County Fair, they were famous for their deep fried ice cream and Oreos, but they literally will deep fry anything. And deep fried pickles sound better than what you think they are. And
no, deep fried pickles really are good.
Oh, they're bomb. Oh my gosh. I didn't even know.
I want to go to the coast and eat deep fried pickles and seafood. Oh, Jesus. I need to get my car fixed. This is America. If we want to eat 5 pounds of butter a day and diet 23, that's all right. It is true. That is our God-given right. Shoot guns, say whatever we want, and kill ourselves by putting shit in their face.
You guys gonna make me switch my shirt. I was just wearing this because I cleaned out my closet, but you keep on talking about America. I'm gonna have to go get my Bruce Springsteen Born in USA shirt.
Who didn't tell me my sweater was on backwards on top of everything else? Who did not let me know that my clothes were on wrong?
It's because I can't see you on the camera. You're on like at all, so I have to look on different screens to see what's going on.
Oh, God. All right, I gotta order a new computer this week, and then in 2 weeks I'll have my new Meta PC's computer. Because what is it? The quartering shows them, but they're a veteran-owned. They build their own. I'm tired of Lenovo, which I bought many a computer from, but I'm over it.
I need to buy something I can edit with. I'm over the limits. I'd have more videos out if I didn't have the space issue. And quite honestly, I say this all the time. Like, I have to go out and buy things. I don't know how people without jobs have YouTube channels. I'm looking at a couple people who hate watch me. I don't know how, if you don't have a, because this, I'm not going to gripe too hard, but every time I have to buy a backup, I'm like, how do people who don't have jobs YouTube? And I'm not talking about.
I don't understand how people edit on their phones and upload. That would make me creep. Like, I know people use their smartphones, but I'm spoiled. I like my 10-year-old Canon DSLR1. I've got the Rebel SL1. It's so old. Oh, and there's the weed whackers outside. Cats running crazy. Tony Mason mentioned obesity being essential to freedom, the right to eat butter. It shall not be infringed. Okay. I'm going to go out on a limb. It's controversial. People don't like it. I'm over this dad acceptance. That person who feels entitled that they should get extra free seats on the airlines because their butt does not fit in the seat. No, you can go F yourself.
I was just having this conversation today with my mother because she was younger than my father. Like, she's the last of a generation of people that don't exist anymore. My grandmother was a real life fat shamer. And my mom was.
Both of mine were too, but then it went both ways. You were too fat and too skinny. Eat more. It was like there was a no-win situation.
My grandma would always tell me in Spanish, she'd call me hueso, which means bone. So it didn't matter if you were if you were too fat, she called you gordo. If you were too skinny, she called you hueso. And my mom and I were like, did she have any middle ground? Like, no. She'd walk 2 miles every day. My grandparents were healthy, but that doesn't mean everybody else. They didn't smoke. On the other side of my family, everybody smoked and drank and died at 45. Oh.
Yeah, I know, Kilroy. Lenovo's are really for business and office use. Anything more intense than that, and they don't like it. I know, which is why for my day job, my Lenovo's have worked great. And I'm stupidly brand loyal, so if I find something I like, I keep buying it. But
you gotta be careful. I have nothing but Apple products, and they spy on me and sell me crummy cell phones.
Yeah, no, I am not well, we've already heard I had used an Apple IIe in kindergarten. I didn't like it. It confused me, and I said never again. So over more than 30 years, I have never owned an Apple product.
I said this last week. I can't remember what I was talking about, but it was like goats or something. Oh, I was talking about goatees. And I look on my phone and they were trying to sell me like beard balm for goatees. They're listening. Like, your phone is constantly listening to you. Just right now, I'm on a MacBook Pro. I have an Apple desktop next to me. I have my mom's old iPad because she doesn't realize that these things are still good, even though she doesn't like it anymore. It's a 2019, and she's like, I'm going to get rid of this. I was like, oh, I'll take it. I have...
Does it still turn on? All right, if you're good to go, we're golden.
I have 3 iPhones in here. My iPhone 4 is over there, but that thing is so old it needs to be in a museum. I have my desktop from 2012 and my laptop from 2012, which both still work. Both of them. It's just their version of Chrome is from before my son was born.
I know I've got two towers in the back. One of them, was that the first tower I ever owned from? I've got one that's running Linux from like 2001, whatever version. There's, I know. I'll take that glower. I was kind of a geek, and when I was doing molecular modeling in the chemistry lab, I had to learn Linux. It's gotten much easier, I've heard, these days.
Wait, I did. It's my eyebrows. I have resting bitch face. It's my eyebrows to make me look like a Bond villain. I was trying to think if I've ever seen Linux outside of an office setting ever. I don't think I've ever seen it in someone's house before.
Probably not, but not everybody was trying to do molecular modeling at their house either.
No, most people I know are just trying to post crummy videos to YouTube.
Right. So I was not a good wet chemist, so I worked with the molecular modeling chemist. And then it was like, wow, this is a lot of math that I don't understand, because me and calculus, we had a good run, but we kind of fought a little bit. I don't have enough patience for Linux. I'm one of those people that use Windows because I'm lazy. I know my new Meta PC is going to have Windows 11, and this computer that's running as my monitor and my camera right now, because my life hates me, doesn't have enough hard drive power to upgrade. It goes, you're like, you need to upgrade, but we can't install Windows 11. I'm like, fine, great. I'm not really interested.
That drives me crazy.
But that I'm unarmed.
Those notifications drive me crazy. It's like, we're notifying you about something that you can do nothing about. And why are you telling me?
Right.
Why?
I know.
Or I don't know if it's new, but I listen to music at ear-busting volumes. I buy headphones that, like, I'll spend money on some headphones. My iPhone tells me you're exceeding the sound for your eardrums. You should turn this down.
You're like, just shut up. I'll lose my hearing if I want to.
You do not tell me what to do, phone. If I just choose to destroy my eardrums, I shall.
That's on me.
It bothers me. I don't know why. Maybe I'm old school human when I used to tell products what to do.
Right. Oh, I am in love with these old-fashioned rolled hem feet. Who needs an iron or bias tape when you can just throw on the rolled hem attachment and I'm hooked.
Sorry, I get distracted when the yuppies walk by my house and they don't know that, like...
That's okay.
I have the volume turned down very low on my security camera, but I can kind of hear them because my security camera has sound.
Right.
People, they talk about the most innate things when they know no one's listening.
Indeed. Let's...
My Android, I have a volume booster app that can blow out the speakers. Maybe I need to drown the world out. Music is my therapy. It's what keeps me from going mentally insane and turning into Michael Douglas in that movie, Falling Down. So sometimes I need music, especially like when I'm listening to opera. I want to be there. I immerse myself into certain things. Which reminds me, it's been a while since I've watched Les Mis.
Oh, that was good. I saw it in Toronto.
When Linda, the woman who makes the blankets, her husband worked for the Pantages my entire life.
Ooh.
And so I saw a fan of the opera. I've seen Cats. I've seen the producers. everything up to Wicked.
I've never seen that one, but what is it, Cats? All I think of is memories.
As an adult, now that I know what Cats is about, like people were on drugs when they wrote that.
Yes.
I saw
Oh,
it.
but right. Phantom of the Opera just finally closed on Broadway, the longest running show ever. Was that 2 weeks ago?
You know, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go talk to Doug. I wonder if he has any of his old Phantom of the Opera denim, because I have all my dad's old Boeing denim, and that's worth money. I bet if I was like, "Hey,
Mm-hmm.
do you have my Phantom of the Opera denim?" I guarantee you he'd probably give me one. He's such a nice guy. I haven't watched Les Mis. Les Mis is amazing, Kilroy.
And the book is worth the 1,500, the doorstop that it is. It's worth. I read the book.
I talk about it all the time. I read The Stand before I saw the movie, and it was worth it. I loved the book. I
Well, the
still
book
have
is
that.
always better, though.
Always. I'm such a geek. I can't believe I'm admitting this. I read Jurassic Park before I saw the movie. Didn't even know the movie was coming out.
No, but I read the book before. Oh, when did I read the book? Was it in junior high or high school? It was a hot minute ago. You're back with a full tummy. Good, Butterfly. You need a full appetite for tonight, or I don't know. I can't even be funny right now. I'm just like irritated.
No, trust me. Do you remember two or three weekends ago when my machines died? I died inside. when I was having like a day of sewing machine failure, I was just sitting here like, don't show them how mad you are. Do not show them how mad you are over it. I turned purple. I was so mad. I don't get red. I get kind of purplish.
I know. I think that was the 2 weeks where I was like, and I just like bailed early 2 weeks in a row. I was like, I just can't handle anything.
You know what though? I have all this. Like when I live stream, I can talk and talk.
Right. Yeah, and that one British guy, he just seemed like too much of a, I don't know, seemed nice, but I just didn't feel like fighting to talk with people because I'm the person who like, I won't fight to talk. It annoys me, and I just.
There
is. He's fun, but he's interesting.
There are certain people that, and I love dog, and I've known dogs since the day I jumped on here. But there are certain people I stream with them. I'm like, oh yeah, that's why you were canceled with me, because you talk over people. I wasn't the only one who was canceled in a certain group. But no, I used to go in streams with 9 people, and I stopped doing that because, like you said, you end up fighting for air, and there is somebody out there. We literally do not like each other because we would constantly jump over each other, and it's not even anything personal. It's because we both have a lot to say.
Right.
But if you were to ask her, she would be like, "Godless sewing is such a windbag. I hate him."
But now I feel so I got everything set up, got myself. All I want to do is watch the Great British Sewing Bee. You know, my last obstacle. I don't have a code for BBC One. I signed up for their things. I got my VPN, and they're like, "No, what's your TV license code?" And I'm like, "F you, BBC. Just give me the Great British Sewing Bee."
They've got much better. They have. I have to watch stuff routed through BBC Africa half the time, and sometimes they won't show stuff like in certain countries because the BBC is anywhere where if they speak English, the BBC is there. They've become much better, and I think they're doing it in anticipation of our laws that are about to start hitting their services.
Mm-hmm.
Because I may or may not watch a ton of British television, and then all of a sudden certain shows I don't have access to anymore. Friday night dinner.
Right, I can watch this stuff on Sky. It's the BBC. They are just. I just want to watch it. Just give me my damn sewing show, please.
I am obsessed with Doctor Who. I
Yeah.
love Doctor Who. Doctor Who is it. I don't even talk about it anymore because I'm so obsessed with it. It's something I love. The BBC destroyed Doctor Who. And I'm not even talking about the program or the show. You can't watch it. They show it one time.
Right.
They used to re-air it, like they would show it all day long for weeks at a time. They are so privatized that they don't even show it on their affiliates anymore. They're crazy. Like the BBC is crazy. And I'll tell you, it's because of Netflix. When people figured out that they can make, like, Netflix was amazing when it first came out. Like, Netflix was bar none because all of a sudden I could watch all these British shows, all these Canadian shows. Then one by one, everything got privatized. You know?
Yeah.
And so
I know, now every station has got their own streaming service that you have to pay for. Hey, Hands! The bright light of the afternoon.
I'm just happy that you're back and you're a teenager again and you're happy again. Yay.
But we need to hear about the tenets of your cult sometime. I mean religion.
Oh, he when the stream ends, he wants to tell you about the Book of Mormon.
Okay.
Oh, people are going to think I'm like some religious fanatic. When I was a kid, there was a woman who, I felt so sorry for her children. She had no television, no radios in the house. She was some denomination. She was a preacher, but for punishment, she would make her children run around the block. And like, we went to high school with these kids. Like, me and my friends, we felt so sorry for these kids. Like, she would torture her kids. It was bad. And if they didn't grow up to become people who hurt other people, I will be shocked. If they didn't, I will be shocked.
Fair. Let's see here. Killer. I can listen to RTE, the Irish State Broadcaster, extremely easily. Their app works in America just fine. The BBC is nuts. You can't listen to anything without jumping through so many hoops. I know! I jumped through hoops and I still haven't found the right ones. Liz was helping homeless people move their tiny house off our property. Nothing, me complaining and being really grouchy.
Technology is not nice to us today.
No, I need my new computer bar bad.
I'm looking at the screen and it looks perfectly. And like, when I look at this screen, you're locked in place in mid-sentence.
As long as I don't have one of those like weird, awkward, open-faced mouths, open mouth. Wow.
You're like almost there. You're like right there.
Oh yes, the overbite's coming through for the win.
You know what though? There's nothing wrong with the overbite. People joke about they call it the white man overbite, but that's not funny because I legitimately dance like that, and you will not make fun of them. That's how I dance. I grew up in the suburbs. I bite my lip when I dance. I'm old. I heard someone say that, and I'm like, oh, that's my dance. Wait a minute. You're not allowed to call out the white man overbite. No, wait a minute. I grew up in the suburbs. There was a name for that. I had no idea.
Ay. Was she Jehovah's Witness? I knew a family like that when she was... Oh, it must be the religious lady. Maybe.
She was, I don't know. And they would sing all the time. It was weird. Dad dancing.
That is funny.
The older I get, I am not scared to get down and boogie. I am not. I used to be so embarrassed by my father, and now I completely understand why he got goofy around 50.
He just gave up trying to conform to other people's standards of bullshit.
Exactly what that, like, I remember the day he was like, I quit. This is who I really am.
Like, I'm tired of fronting. I just can't. It's too much energy. I can't deal with it anymore.
That's real. That is real.
After 50 years, I'm going to live the last 40 and just do whatever I want. Fuck this shit.
Do you know, about 2 or 3 years ago, I had an Office Space moment like that, where I started, because I may not look like it, I don't let it on, but I'm really good at math. And I started doing the math. I said, wait a minute, I'm like unhealthy, so I'm pretty much at the halfway point of my life. That's why people tell me all the time, they're like, oh, you, like when I tell them my actual job, they're like, oh, you don't seem like it. And I'm like, thank you. Because I quit pretending years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think also you live longer when you're true to yourself. When there's less lies to tell. When you are who you.
That's good, Liz. I'm glad that they didn't throw shit at you either. Let's see here. Never know what the response will be, but I soften the blow by giving them food. Oh, that's very thoughtful of you. Except that some of the it's so funny. I've seen some people begging for food, but at the same time be like, but I'm gluten-free. There's too much fat in that. And I'm like, all right, honey.
That sounds like a California homeless person.
Well, we basically are California's big sister over here. So, yeah, we do. Some of yours ended up in my neck of the woods sometimes. And I was like,
as someone who works in outreach, ungrateful people do burn me. They do. They do. I won't even lie. But like, I've learned, the older I get, I've just shut my mouth, you know. Or like, there are people who need like direct help in certain services, and they'll say, "No, I don't need it." As you can obviously see, they do, you know.
Right.
Being yourself, it's hard, but it's worth it. I agree.
Yep.
It's cheaper.
I don't want to be anybody else.
And if you tell everyone in your family how you truly feel about them, it's cheaper during Christmas too.
Fortunately, my family is very tiny, and we mostly get along. So.
Mine's huge, and we all fought over money, so we all hate each other. We have alliances and pacts. I'm a part of the evil access, or the evil that has access.
Yeah, there's not enough of us to be that petty.
You know what? I've said this. I said this when I first started streaming. When I met my ex-wife, the one thing that astounded me is her family. They are, they're like middle class, like everybody else, but they love each other. They may not have much, but they all put up with each other. In my family, we literally hate each other. Like, if my cousin and I saw each other, we would go heads up. Like, we could be at the grocery store, and it's like Peter Griffin and that chicken. And my cousin's the chicken, and I'm going to find you. We do not get along. We do not get along. Money makes people hate each other. It's the dumbest thing.
Yeah.
Or it gives you the illusion of safety.
Right. And right now it is just an illusion. You're so funny, Liz. It's so true. Dude, I'm like, I got SpaghettiOs, bro. Oh, killer. I cut off basically all my extended family because they're shitheads and or addicts here. During the holidays, I don't go anywhere or do anything, and I love it. Perfect. Right. Well, who wants to drive in the snow in Pennsylvania in the winter time? Unless you're going up to the res in Salamanca.
I am the black sheep in my family. And I have so me and all my cousins who are the black sheep, we're the only ones that talk to each other. So it's real cheap during the holidays. And I always jokingly say like, oh, I have a cousin who's patched up. Like, he's a real life patched up biker. And I still want to know why he's scared of my mom. I still want to know. She must have beat him almost to the hospital when he was a kid or something. Like, he's legitimately scared of my mom. He won't tell me why.
Oh, that's funny. She must have took her slipper to him one time too many.
She put She put the fear of Kathy in him. She didn't put the fear of God. She put the fear of Kathy in him. I ask him all the time and he won't tell me. So I'm one of those people, like, if you don't tell me, I get even more curious. I'm like, ooh, now I really want to know.
This must be a really good story.
Like, at first I was joking, but now I'm serious. I really want to know now. I come from an era where, like, you know, people raised their different time. It was a different time. I look at these kids now and I'm like, you guys have been so lucky. And the funny thing is, they looked at our generation like that, you know? So things get progressively weird as time goes on. I can't say it's better or for better or worse.
Yeah. Oh, Liz, you're too kind.
That's one thing. When I lived in Portland, and I saw it around the country more than anything else, but I ended up like living in Portland because it was like when I went to the East Coast, I was like, ooh, I can't live here. I'm not an East Coast kind of guy. This was 20 years ago. This was 23, 24 years ago. So when I came back to the West Coast, Portland was my city. And I miss that place. And you know what? If you're down and out, like, there are people in Portland who really helped me out. And I was at my worst. So, you know, atheists always chance on Christian organizations, but, like, they helped me out.
Oh, not atheist. So happy Beltane tomorrow.
What is it?
Tomorrow is Beltane.
Beltane? What's that?
So Beltane is a Celtic fire fertility festival, which is where the maypole comes from. So you dance around a giant pole decorated with ribbons and canoodle out in the woods.
Ooh! I want to partake. I'm just going to put a giant pole in my backyard and start a bonfire. That sounds like fun.
Right, I'll hop in the car. Oh no, I gotta work tomorrow. No, I've got events. No.
see that's the thing. Like, I love stuff like that. I still go to the church festival every year because they got a giant Ferris wheel. I'm not anti anything. I don't believe I'll partake.
Right, that's fair. I know. I just, my spiritual practices now is not, we don't endorse proselytizing, and you have to come to us. We don't come to you. So I just don't talk about my practices very often.
That's what I try to tell Isaiah in his newfound religion. And I say this in anything, and this is the way I live my life. Like, you can say anything, but people will see through your actions that you are actually what you are talking about. You know, I'll never forget when I first got online. People would always ask me, "Godless sewing, do you sew?" And it really ticked me off. But then I looked and I was like, I have not made one sewing video. I just come online and talk about life. You know, so all they see me, they don't know that I actually have a skill.
Sewing's not in my name just to, like, for clout.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not just collecting sewing machines, you know. Right. To quote Batman, I'm not wearing hockey pads. You know, I'm not messing around in here. I'm making dusters and dancing with my headphones on is really what I'm doing.
Oh, Liz, projects are going, some better than others right now, especially after I had to take Brunhilde's guts out, or she vomited her guts out and I had to put her back together. There are some great resources. Yeah, go ahead, honey.
Sorry, those old school machines are so much better to fix, though. I literally I will have a pierced finger for the rest of my life because I didn't know what I was doing with my Husqvarna Viking. The older machines are so much easier.
That bob and keep back together was not the worst thing ever.
That's awesome. I love, like, festivals and caber tossing. Like, I love culture. I consider that culture.
Yeah.
like we have a large Filipino festival, a large Filipino population here. We have a festival every year. I'm telling you, I have no idea what's going on, but they have some of the greatest food known to man. You're walking, you're like, oh, that smells good. Like I go every year, every year.
I know. I miss where I grew up. There was a Ukrainian Orthodox or Eastern Orthodox Ukrainian church. So every year they would have the Ukrainian festival.
Oh,
Oh, the food and the dancing and the music.
that's the one thing I miss about living in
So
the
much
heart
fun.
of Los Angeles is that like um I got introduced into Armenian culture, and you know what? People talk a lot of trash about Armenian people. They were so welcoming and nice to me. They welcomed me right into the neighborhood, had no like taught me how to eat. Armenian food is awesome. um that's the one thing I miss about LA is the diversity in the culture. Here it's like pretty standard USA like chain stuff where I live.
Yeah.
We do have like mom and pop Thai food and stuff like that, but like I dare you to go somewhere. Chat, help me out. Where you guys live, do you have either Chinese food, Mexican food, or Thai food in your town? Because that's pretty standard American.
Yes, and we've got a new Bangladeshi restaurant and
Ooh.
that I haven't been to yet. And oh, what's the other one? Utova. There's another one that just got expanded and went downtown. Let's see here. While we think about this, Kilroy. I hate atheists who rag on people and orgs who are actually helping. Hunger and poverty are huge problems, and we're going to need every ounce of help to solve them. True.
Absolutely.
Listen to the Beltane.
And like I said, like throughout my journey, people of all different kinds of religions have helped me out. People in Muslim organizations, Sikh organizations, people in general have just gone out of their way to help me. So a lot of
Mm-hmm.
it is because they think that I'm one of them. It's different when I shave. It's different. When I have my beard, I show my gray. I look like, Sultan sewing. This, I look like Jay Leno's illegitimate child. Chinese and Mexican, also a Japanese-ish thing. Now I'm craving a Japanese buffet in Pennsylvania.
Mm,
That's what I'm saying. Like Chinese and
sounds good.
Mexican. Sorry,
Oh, go no.
it's pretty standard in America. There are like, there. I'm trying to think if there's anywhere in America where I have been where they didn't like. They have Thai food in Wyoming.
Right. Yeah. Well, things have. But is it? It is funny though that we have these restaurants, but they're not actually the food that. It's the Americanized version of those things. It's not what people from those cultures actually eat, or like how they actually eat food.
So I don't want to gross people out too much, but a while ago,
Too late.
my ex-wife and I, we had a contest of like we basically were trying to establish dominance with each other. We were trying to gross each other out. She ate a fisheye on a deep sea fishing trip and literally made grown men puke. And we went to Chinatown and we ordered duck soup, and when they served it, it's served with the head. And like
Okay.
I ordered orange chicken at the same restaurant, okay? When the lady brought it out, there was an orange. And I remember as an American, like I was raised extremely polite, so I don't say a word. Like she could have slapped me and I wouldn't have said a word to her. But
Right.
I opened the top of the orange and the chicken was inside the orange. That was not orange chicken. I'm used to the Panda Express,
Right.
glazed American gross crap. But I went to a real Chinese restaurant where actual people from China worked and said, I want orange chicken. They said, I got you.
And then you were like, oh, I take it back. That's not what I wanted.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, Kilroy's right. We have Vietnamese nail places as well.
Oh, I just miss being in Seattle, going to the Korean spa and sitting there in the or the Russian spa, the Russian bathhouse.
We have both of those here too. Korean and Russian.
The Russian is best because the one that we up in Seattle, they had a cute little restaurant and bar next door. So the tradition is you go have a shot of garlic infused vodka, then you go to the sauna, and it's time to go back to the bar when you start to smell the garlic coming out of your pores from your shot of garlic vodka.
Oh, you're making me miss my traveling days. Isaiah's almost big enough to reach the pedals. I'm joking.
I know. Are you going to teach him how to drive? And is he going to get his license? Or that's maybe not questions I should ask online.
No, I'm going to tell you, there's no law against autistic people driving. And until they make one, he's going to get his license. There's no law. He's not considered in that, like, no, there's no law in the books that says autistic people. And then no. And I know the law. I'm like convincing, talking to myself and thinking of the law in the same sentence.
Yeah. Right. Because I mean, I can see, like, there's certain folks, like, depending on how severe your disabilities are, like, if you literally can't. But then some folks are not that, are differently abled.
Exactly. And also, like, the way it's written in the state of California, if you have a physical impairment that impedes you from driving, such as seizures, if you have an eye impairment, if your physical condition leads you to be shaking in any way, then you can't drive. Like, there's certain qualifications, but it says nothing about ASD, nothing about anything neurological.
Well, epilepsy is neurological, so.
Oh, that's true. I know someone.
just to clarify.
Not a doctor.
No, I don't know one.
Funny thing, I actually know someone who's epileptic, lost their license, and still drives. And every time I see them, I'm like, he scares me. And he doesn't take his medicine like he should. And I hope you're watching.
Oh, that's the real problem. But epilepsy comes in so many interesting flavors. Hillary garlic infused vodka. I'm sweating just hearing that. It tastes so good. Oh my god, now I want some real potato vodka that's infused with garlic. In Pennsylvania, as long as you pass the written and road test, they don't care what you have going on. There.
Exactly. Same here. And I'm trying to think, because I work with people with disabilities, and there's a few that have driver's licenses. Because for certain jobs, you have to have, like, IDs aren't good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Until they make a law, because where I live, we have laws for everything. And because they're mad at Elon Musk now, they're starting to make laws against, like, our generators and stuff. And, like, Tesla had great ideas. Their generators are bar none. Their solar is bar none. Just because the guy owned the company and he's a complete weirdo doesn't mean that his products didn't work, you know?
Right.
But because he moved to Texas, like, California is now, like, basically, if most people that have solar, we're pumping stuff back into the system, and they're trying to make laws where they're not going to give us the tax breaks anymore.
Why does California just want to shoot themselves in the balls?
There's a tax for that. That's the California.
We have a law and a tax break for that. You shoot yourself in the balls. We got you covered.
They're going after him, and I've noticed that because, like, my job bought a few of his products, and guess what? It works. This, right? Like, Like I don't condone. He's not an evil dictator. He's not like he's just some idiot on Twitter who had enough money to buy it.
Right? Well, I know, and like some places, Starlink either works great or it's horrible. But some places it's the only thing you got.
You live in Africa. That's all you got.
Right? or Ukraine.
Exactly.
No, Liz,
Exactly.
it really is good. The garlic vodka. Oh, no, I want some.
It's crazy here. Now you got me going, Kilroy, with that 2036 thing. Like, it's gonna be so interesting to we still have a giant diesel tank at my job. Maybe I should turn that into a half pipe or something.
Yeah, go for it.
With the welding with the welding certification, you can make anything. And a little imagination. Just right now, on the side of my house where I feed Odin, there's 3 generators. There's one behind the shed that's like back on this side. There's another one next to it. I have 8 generators just on this side of the house. And they're all powered by gas.
Right, because you can't have a solar powered, like they just don't understand. The lawmakers are so out of touch. They do not understand.
What they're gonna do is they're gonna push out everybody that has money, because the people like a long time ago, someone I knew from Africa kind of schooled me up on something. They're like, bro, Africa, like if you see someone here from Africa, they had money to get here, even if they're poor here, like they had money. What they're gonna do is lose all the people that have money. All the people that have money are gonna move out of California because they're tired of. I'm biased because I've moved away to a bunch of different places, but I keep on moving back here. But the older I get, like I'm over it, you know.
Yeah. Oh, that is true, Killer. The lack of seasons must try people's brains. I know, 80 degrees and sunny all year round. How do you deal with it?
You know, I get offended when people say that people from the West Coast talk slow, but we do. Compared to
Yeah, but not Georgia slow.
That's true. Okay, I've been to Savannah. I have family there, and they talk like this. Oh, now you're gonna make me confess something. I watch a show. It's called Chasing, and they have it in different cities, and it's gay men just being catty, and it's black gay men, and it's lit, and I love the show. But there is a man who is on a show. It's called Chasing. Where city am I watching? It's Dallas. He talks so slow, it upsets me. And but he's like a fashion blogger. He's a fashion designer, and I know he really is, because he wears like actual real fashion pieces. Like I'm like, wow, that man can sew. He just talks like a turtle.
He drives his sewing machine faster than his mouth.
Oh, it drives me. Whenever they cut to him, I'm like, oh, here we go. Here we go. I recently watched this thing about people in New York, and they were like, they walked up to people in Times Square, and they would ask them, are you from New York? And they'd say, no. Okay, they walk. It's like, are you from New York? They're like, yeah, of course. How do you feel about Californians? Every single person that had something to say hurt my feelings. And more than 5 people said they talk slow. They talk slow. Which makes me believe, like in New York, are they like?
Yes. New York City runs 5 times faster than the whole rest of the country. Hey,
What's
Trusty.
up, Trusty?
All right, I am gonna leave you in control for like 2 seconds. I BRB, and then we'll have more shenanigans.
Awesome. Do you Gilroy, I went to Georgia, and now that Tristy Abe's here, I went. I said this in Trusty's stream. I was so shocked how Georgia is more gay than San Francisco. I'll challenge me on that one. Atlanta, Georgia, I was so shocked. But yeah, it is the Twilight Zone. It's a different planet compared to anywhere else I've ever been. I actually drove from Santa Monica with a friend to Savannah, Georgia, and it's a different planet. We took the 10 freeway, a straight shot. We did avoid, there were parts of Texas that we avoided. Do you know what's funny? After going to Texas, though, there's parts of Oklahoma that I would now avoid compared to Texas. The one thing I will regret, though, is that I never got to see the Tiger King in his heyday. And I drove past the Tiger King's the Tiger King's compound. I just have the Enterprise theme song stuck in my head because I've been watching Star Trek Enterprise because there's been nothing else. Are you there?
I am here.
I see nothing now.
Oh, Jesus. I'm here.
Hold on, let's see, because there's a bit of a delay.
Maybe see, I'll show up again on my own stream.
Oh, yeah, you're there. I just can't see you. Okay. That's such a trip. Technology is so weird.
Yeah, and it all hates me right now. The past 2 weeks, I cannot wait for this to be over and to have my new computer. And, let's see if my headphones and mic will work.
The Tiger King would have asked me out. The Tiger King was a creep. The Tiger King preyed on homeless people. He would, offer him a job and a bag of meth. And I agree with you. If you ever catch me in Oklahoma, call search and rescue. When I was younger, I was an explorer. As an adult now, I'm like, oh no. God was sewing it in the Tiger King compound, making a tiger print jacket.
That's funny. That's right. If you don't want to support Afro Man for president, the Tiger King, Joe Exotic, is running again. If you need another third-party candidate.
From jail?
Yeah, you can run from jail. He wouldn't be the first person. There was that communist guy from the 30s or whatever. You can run from president from jail.
I can't throw away my vote. I voted for Ralph Nader in the year 2000. I can't throw my vote away again. I have to take it serious this
I would totally for Afro Man.
I stand for the Tiger King for a long time until I found out he really did kill all those tigers, and I was like, all right, off to jail. Straight to jail, sir.
But I know, there was a great interview.
I just don't like how they did him. Everybody wanted what he had, so they came after him. You know what I'm saying? All those people were conniving, and that weirdo took over his compound. Oh, no way.
Oh, no, you should. No, there was actually him. I can't think of his name, but the wife's name is Lauren. And this jet ski guy, they just did an interview with Eric Hunley on his Laid Back News channel. It was very interesting. It was a really interesting interview.
God, this is part of the 2.74%. I used to stand. I was in love with the Tiger King, and you know what's really funny? A long time ago, my ex-wife calls me and she's like, "I don't want to offend you." I was like, "What?" She's like, "Have you heard of the Tiger King?" I said, "No, I haven't. What are you talking about?" She's like, "I need you to watch the Tiger King documentary because you are the Tiger King." I called her after the second episode. I was like, F Carol Baskin. And she's like, call me after the third episode. I called her after the third. I was like, oh, these people make me want to cry. She was like, call me after you're done watching it. The Tiger.
Oh,
I'm the Tiger King without all the meth. I am the Tiger King. I am the real.
Yeah, no, I don't think you have parties with underage boys.
No. But like, I like to drive around and shoot stuff, and like, I just like his.
So it sounds like you're an Oregonian.
Like, I loved I would love to have his compound and just shoot trees. Like he was crazy. You know what did him in?
Yeah.
First off was all the meth, but he obsessed over Carol Baskin. He threatened her over 1,000-something times live on YouTube.
Yeah, he had. Well, she's a weirdo too. I mean, they're both weird. Fortunately, I mean, her ex-husband did show up alive eventually, but
I forgot about. You know, it's funny. I sent that to my ex-wife, and she was like, "You gotta effing be kidding me!" I sent straight from Twitter on my phone. I was like, "Oh, he's the only person that I know that's gonna care about this." Because everyone else,
like the producers for the show were super weirdo. Like, he's the Joey Exotic of the turtle world, and was into all sorts of weird stuff.
Do you know what's so funny? I need to watch things like this because I thought I was weird until I watched the Tiger King. I'm like, oh, I'm normal compared to these guys. Like, oh wow, like. Because I always jokingly say that I'm the real life Tiger King. Like, no, these guys were lit. And the way his second husband did himself in made me want to cry because the guy was just bored. The Tiger King was actually a really sad story. And my Thai food will be here in 30 minutes. Godless Sewing Enterprises is always here to help.
Right, do you need dinner recommendations? I'm having beef roasted potatoes.
I ate already. I was raised by senior citizens. I eat early. I ate already.
Right, 4 o'clock is dinner time. 3:30, 4 o'clock.
My whole life, and I'm telling you, it's because my parents were real life senior citizens. By the time I came around, like, I'm emaciated if I'm not fed by 4. I'm ready to fight people. But
where's my dinner?
My kids come to appreciate second dinner though, because I get hungry around 8:30. He's going to be such a teetotaler because his parents are pirates. He's going to be such a teetotaler. Like, even today at the store, I'm the bakery section is right next to the produce section, okay? So they force you to make better choices. And freaking he was in the produce section as I'm in the bakery section. Hey, bro, if you go turn the light on in the middle bedroom, if you go look on the back of the second rack, there's a bunch of suits on there. And they're grandpa's old suits. They'll all fit you. He's
getting his ministry outfit coordinated?
He is. He was a super skinny dude. And you can even wear my white suit coat because I found a reliable dry cleaner. Well, go take a look. There's go if you look in the back, all the really tiny ones are in the back because my weight goes up and down so much.
So I put the fatty ones up front.
Yeah, I do. I really do. No, because of my lung issues, I do. It's just normal at this point. My weight goes up and down. I'm like a yo-yo. And so certain times of year, my skinny clothes fit, and anything after Christmas, they don't. Let's be real.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Like anywhere else, I start from October on, I'm eating.
So you follow the meme that my mother sends me every year at Thanksgiving to don't forget to set your scale back 10 pounds.
Exactly.
Oh, killer. I was thinking that of what I want to eat. I thought out some drumsticks, but it rained today, so I couldn't grill them up. It's probably going to be spaghetti or mac and cheese or something. Here.
I do that. This is my grilling time of year. I do that. Oh, now I'm craving barbecued chicken.
I know, right? Stop making me hungry.
Okay. Now, if you want to talk about, let's talk about completely switch on to something else. Not only did the raccoons eat my suntan lotion,
Oh, God.
they pierced a bottle. I have, the normal stuff, but then I have the spray suntan lotion. They literally bit into it. There was a teeth mark. I know.
Your raccoons have a death wish? Or they have a fear of skin cancer.
Or they're just disgusting. And I have bad news to report. Something pulled out the last pineapple.
Oh, no!
It's got to be the raccoons. Which is fine, because if they touch my tomato plant that's not tomato, I will be wearing a raccoon hat this year.
We're going to do it coon style.
I'm not. You know what's really funny? Like, when I see the possums, I'm like, oh, you're so ugly, you're cute. When I see the skunks, I'm like, okay, you have a purpose in the circle of life. Tell me, convince me what purpose a raccoon has.
The garbage eaters.
Those are, oh, that's nice. I can see you on the other screen. That's awesome. The camera decided to start working right when you put that on. That is like your Harry Potter cloak.
I know, just a little schmata to make everything not so horrible.
Do you know that's so weird? I've been sitting here for 2 hours talking to myself. The fact that like I can actually see you now, it's strange. Because I have not seen you for the past 2 hours.
That
Technology
happens
is
to me sometimes. You'll freeze, and I'm like, I see you on the other screen. And I'm like, I know you're still moving, but I just have the same old still photo. Thank you, Kilroy. Yes, I crocheted all these shoulder pieces.
That's awesome.
They've just been sitting in my stash waiting to be made into something beautiful.
You see, that's what it's
such
about.
a shithole. Even the raccoons are suicidal.
And they join gangs, too. They join gangs.
Here's the paws and the clips.
They're great. They're disgusting. And as someone who grows food, like, I'm not anti-animal. And if they want to eat them, that's cool, too. Oh,
right? No, I forgot what I was going to laugh about.
Just indestructible animals trip me out. Anyone who's ever been around a goat, you could give a goat a beer. A goat will eat the can and drink the beer.
Yes.
They're disgusting.
Yes. But they're great for the blackberries for fire control. Like, who needs a lawnmower if you can have a couple of goats?
So on the property next to next to where the horses are at my job, they have goats, and they let them go on the hill.
Yep, because it's easier and safer to let them wander around.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to pay them hazard pay.
Very true. Well,
all right, let's go on to the corset belt. Oh, I forgot to show off the other thing I've been working on. It's only going to take me like 20 hours and not 500. Okay.
We can do that. We can do that tomorrow if you want to. But suit jacket, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's going to be an underskirt for my, in the winter when I get cold, to keep under my petticoats over my corset, because I'm just bringing old-fashioned styles back because I'm sick of modern clothes, even though here I am in, like, stretch velour, but, you know, our
Heck
city's...
yeah.
Yep.
Let me go help
They
out
are.
Mr. Sterling real quick with his ministry. Show him
Okay.
how the little suits are.
The young Mr. Sewing and his new religion that may or may not be a cult. Hans is working overtime today. We're going to have to give him past not extra pay. Maybe, but we don't have child labor laws for kids on YouTube like we do for child actors, which is a whole other thing that needs to be worked out, especially with all these horrible family channels. But I tend to stop watching people as soon as they get pregnant and start having kids. I'm like, I don't watch your content anymore, but maybe that's just because that's just not my jive.
Do you know what the funny thing is, Kilroy? Like when I'm on stream or on the phone, the kid will come out here every 5 seconds. I'm not kidding you. When I'm out here by myself, sitting here, I could die in here, and he would not come out here. I could have a stroke, and he would not come out here. It's when he hears me talking.
It's true. I know. I have the same thing when I interact with parents. Their kids are fine until they get on and they like actually need to listen to what I'm saying to them, and their kids kick off like World War III is happening in their house.
He does. He does need overtime. I directed him. My closet is amazing because I have all my dad's old clothes, and he shrunk. My dad
Yeah.
shrunk. You know, he lived to be an 80-something-year-old man, and um, he got very thin. And my dad was a real like African. Like he got very thin. So I have all kinds of stuff that fits my son.
Right. Those family channels. I hope the kids leave the parents permanently and go to Tahiti or Venezuela or Vietnam or something. Right, that's assuming that their money's set up that it's actually their money. Like these is I don't even think they have to set up a trust so that the kids actually make their own money.
I have yet to meet a family channel that doesn't gross me out. There's actually like, YouTube shorts. I fall in love with people. I'm constantly watching shorts. And there was this couple, they lived in Hollywood, and they were like, look, like how we're rich for real. Then they started putting their children in their videos, and I unsubscribed. It got weird because they got huge, and then they started
Was
exploiting
this
their
the Ace
children.
family? They're super weirdos though.
So, fun fact, they live within 6 freeway exits of my house.
In their new rental house after they had to sell their old one because their contractor did them dirty when they did themselves dirty by not paying their bills.
Okay, no, that's the old house. I live by their old house, not their
Okay.
new one. No, I didn't know they moved. They became a lot of those. What happens is a lot of those places become so popular that the neighbors are like, we're tired of people coming by trying to look at your house. We're
Right.
tired of like, so people like the Ace family, they're constantly on the news around here because people don't want them to live near them.
We have red
Yeah.
flag logos for family channels.
Skids. My Kings lost yesterday too. It's okay. It's okay.
I know. I didn't know about this team until I was watching. So one of the guys, what's his name? Holmes? His ex-wife absconded with his kid to Georgia, and what is it? The one of the writers for the Sacramento Bee had a opinion editorial about him that was full of lies. So Johnny Depp's lawyer Camille Vasquez is representing the dad in his new defamation case.
Oh wow.
Right, small world. Oh, Liz, our
Sports
favorite time traveler.
sorry. Sports hurt, Skids. Yesterday when the Kings lost, like I went through real stages of grief. like anger, denial. Like that's real. That's real. But I had to man up because my kid was here, so I had to like not. Usually when I'm alone, I can scream F as loud as I can, and I scare the neighbors.
Oh, thanks, Liz. I know these sleeves are super cute. I did this top. I thought I was going to do the whole outfit, and I got bored with the pattern, so I was like, I'm just going to make the sleeves and then figure out eventually something else to add on to it. And I did, though I do have to actually like finish attaching the fabric to the back, but we'll do that tomorrow.
If one of those families. So, Kilroy, there is a guy who owns like a millionaire house in Hollywood, and he rents it out to YouTubers. And the city of Hollywood, like people have complained so much, they're trying to get rid of this guy, but he owns the house. And he rented it to Jake Paul. Jake Paul and his brother got kicked. This was before they even were famous. They got kicked out of their Hollywood house while they were becoming famous. Then they had some other group I've never heard of. The funny thing is, every time they show them on the news, they're like, these kids have 4 million subscribers. I didn't even know these people existed.
Right?
I'm an old man who lives in a cave, but they trash. Like, man, I feel bad putting a hole in a wall in a house that I own. These kids are trashing $1 million mansions.
Yeah, they don't understand because they never, if you don't have to work for anything, like YouTube is fun and it's hard work if you get successful at it, but it's a different type of job than like digging ditches or laying pipe or being a stonemason. Like they don't understand like actual manual labor.
Or like if you move to a more of an established neighborhood, like my grandma's old neighborhood was for rich old people because they all bought their houses in the 60s and never moved.
Right, because they could still afford it. And when the American dream was still reasonable, like I think that's another thing that's hurting us is that to be a bootstrap entrepreneur and be successful, to come up from nothing, like doesn't really, is not as easy as it used to be.
No way. My dad bought me my first paint gun. He bought me my first power washer. He bought me my first trailer. I had a successful business, but I had help.
Right. And you could actually do it. Like, who freaking 33% self-employment tax? What the F, IRS?
They don't play. They do not, like, that's why, like, I did a lot of cash overhand. And you know what, IRS, you want to come after me? Do it. So I don't have any of it anyways. If you're going to trash something, be like Van Halen and trash a hotel room. Absolutely. I love Van Halen. That's like that's my group.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not, I think, yeah, what do they have to look forward to? Like, what are their aspirations? To be a YouTuber? Or what are the goals for young people to be successful anymore? Because we don't value trade skills.
No.
Kids aren't learning. Who's going to take care of the electrics and the plumbing and the roofers or the tree arborists?
I'm in my early 40s, and I'm one of the only people left that know how to work on certain types of motors. It trips me out that people, even on a small scale, like one of the 50 jobs I have is this time of year I remove snakes.
Yep.
People don't do it anymore because I don't know. Remember, they're scared. They think about it too much. Like, get a long stick and don't let the thing bite you. It's not rocket science.
Right. Wear long sleeves and boots and just do it.
Wear thick boots that are thicker than its fangs. You'll be all right.
None of this fake pleather vinyl. Wear the real leather. It's okay. It's life or death.
That reminds me, I found my leather pants when I was cleaning. I have to try them on. But it's embarrassing because they're brown.
Oh, well, you can paint them, dye them a darker black, or
they're a red. Brown. And like from certain camera angles, it looks like I am naked.
You're naked from the waist down.
Not that kind of party, guys. I'm not trying to send that kind of message at all.
This is not the OnlyFans channel.
Because I was cleaning out my closet, and there was quite a few things where I'm like, man, have I lost that? Like, I found my Keep William Weird sweater. Portland has the Keep Portland Weird sign, and like an ex-girlfriend of mine made a sweatshirt for me, and it said Keep William Weird. Actually, the person who lived in Phoenix, Oregon. I forgot about that thing.
I know, Liz, this is the hungry making stream. It's like dinner time on the West Coast.
See, I've learned from hanging out with you guys, I eat early. I've learned.
I know. I have started to have a snack ahead of time, or else I can't make it to the end of the stream without like ready to go zombie on somebody's arm.
Because my father was a person of a million trades. He was a photographer, and I have this rule in my head that he used to always tell me, never wear anything that's the exact same color as you. So I live by that rule.
Yeah.
so I don't wear anything brown.
I know, I don't like to wear white either, but also it stains, and it's like a magnet for stains. So you're the captain of the joke when you told them to get his brown pants. Ooh, top ramen with Cajun sauce. Everybody's making me fucking hungry right now.
That's what I said. Like, that sounds really good. Isaiah is obsessed with ramen noodles. So I have every sauce on earth.
David, go get the ramens. Here, there's the best ramen brand. I think they're from India. Let's see here. We're going to get a representative example.
Skits, now you're making me hungry.
Pad Thai with Panang curry. Okay, these ones are the best ramens, and they have the cutest packaging. This bowl back. This one is like here. It's like macaroni and cheese, but with ramen noodles, and you just stir the chicken packets in. And the Angry Ducks chickens are so cute. This one is also really good. What is this? Curry flavored. There's a double spicy one that if you are afraid of spice, do not eat it because it will give you an ulcer.
They sell those here. Now I am hungry.
So good. But it's 500 calories for the entire package, so you do need to share it or save it over 2 meals. That is not a single serving meal unless you're my human. That's 2 meals.
I recently bought like a double chocolate loaf cake, and I was like, I wonder if I'm using this as insulin. So
you're going to need some insulin to manage that. It is really good, Kilroy. If you can find it in where you are in the middle of nowhere, it is worth it.
And Liz, I live off of sad sandwiches, so don't feel bad. Because of my allergies, I have to eat the same thing over and over and over.
So you should look for the double spicy one. It comes in a black package, and it says 2X. Oh, it's so good. You open the spice package, and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to sneeze, or I have like, inhalation burns on my nose. It's so spicy.
I have a rule like that with my hot sauce. If it's not clearing my sinuses, I won't eat it. Like,
right.
I need something that's
you have a job to do hot sauce.
That's why I've become I went through this really weird phase of looking for the perfect hot sauce, and I came right back to Frank's. I don't know why. I'm obsessed with that stuff. And I also was on a quest for barbecue sauce too, and I came right back to eating Masterpiece barbecue sauce with hot sauce in it. It's just spicy ketchup, really.
Right. Well, Frank's, that's the secret to chicken wings, because when you come from where chicken wings come from. You don't call them buffalo wings. That's how we know you're a foreigner. They're just called chicken wings.
Do you know, I've always wondered that. And the one time I went to Buffalo, I didn't ask that question. I was too busy asking people if they were hockey fans.
And that's fine because the Sabres are a real team and they don't suck all the time.
When I traveled around to a Californian, like I've been to a bunch of weird baseball, hockey, and football games because it's weird to me as a Californian that you can walk into a stadium for $15. You can walk into a stadium that's unheard of here. You can go see the Sabres for $25. You can go see the Pens for $30. Like, man, you're sitting in the nosebleeds for $100 in California.
Right.
I'm gonna go get those pants.
No, you're a. Let's see here. Never heard of that. BRB. All right, be safe, Liz. Why it gotta be black? Because it's hot. I don't know. It's this weird Korean/Indian stuff that's so good. For me, it is. Is it a piggy, Liz? That's cute. I don't buy the little bottles of Tabasco. I buy the ones that are as big as a Coke can. Doesn't it come in gallon jars? Gallon jugs? It would probably be less expensive. Killer, I keep coming back to Sweet Baby Ray's. I've not had that one. Same, but I have a collection of Happy Friends. Check the expiration dates. Not medical advice, but those don't last forever. They're usually just good for 1 year. Go figure that people are allergic to spices, love spicy food. I know, why? That's so mean. Though they're probably so processed. Well, never mind. There's no advice of any time or any kind. And let's flip this out. I should probably press it before I sew these boning channels and this little corset belt. So we're getting little places on a lot of different things, but nothing is finished today because I'm just glad I was able to show up.
Yeah, I never noticed how smoky it is in this room until you leave and come back. Holy cow, it's smoky in this room. I couldn't find my pants, which we're probably all better off for. They're probably in here somewhere. They're brown. I'm on a quest now. Tomorrow I'm gonna wear them in my live stream. That's my plan.
If they fit, if you can put the zipper up.
See, I was raised extremely hardcore modest Catholic, so like I will not show my nalgas on screen, so you guys are safe. But I found these guys. These are huge. These are 6XL. And so I made them into I use them as canvas. These
right, because you could fit like 3 of you in there.
Look, I'm as big
good practice for stitching, though. All right. Laura's making noodles. I'm getting the water boiling.
My San Francisco. But yeah, these are literally like you can get what is it what is that, the 3-legged race? These are huge. I got these at a thrift store years ago.
Oh, I remember the cute little bottles of Tabasco that came in MREs. Oh, Sweet Baby Ray's for the win. Yep, Clara's making noodles. Welcome back to the stage, the sad sandwiches, new punk
Sad sandwiches remind me of when I see the people at the grocery store that can't cook. I look at them, I'm like, I feel so sorry for you. I smile at them like, I feel so sorry for those people that can't cook.
Right. It is a learned skill, and you have to have you don't need a lot of stuff, but you need a little know-how and some creativity.
Quite, I got lucky. I hung out with a bunch of people that knew how to cook. I got lucky.
Right, that does help.
Yeah, like I literally learned by watching them. It's not like I went looking for it. And I had an ex-girlfriend who, when I lived in Portland, she grabbed me one day and she's like, you know what? I'm going to teach you how to cook because I don't know how you got this far in life. I'm going to teach you. And she legitimately taught me how to cook.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I learned watching Grandma, but grandmas are not always great with the recipe sharing. Like, you need to learn by osmosis, and by osmosis.
My grandmother was famous for making this chicken and rice, and if it wasn't in a certain cookbook, I wouldn't know how to cook it. She wouldn't tell anyone how to make it, and it was the greatest thing ever.
Well, it's good that you found a recipe or a cookbook that had it. Like, the one thing, oh my gosh, oh, it's so funny. So my grandma used to make gefilte fish,
Oh
and
yeah.
one of my dad's cousins would go to the lake and bring her home fish to make gefilte fish. So the best story is he brought them home, and grandma was waiting, so there was fish swimming in the bathtub while she was getting ready to do all the cooking.
That's legendary. That is
Right? Like,
legendary.
whose grandma has fish swimming in the bathtub that are going to be made into food later? Mine did.
My grandmother, she was she was so strange. She was from Mexico. She had everything was in her head. And she
Yeah.
had this just amazing chicken and rice. And I'll never forget one day I told my mom, I'm like, dude, is this chicken and rice a Mexican delicacy? And she looks at me and she's like, bro, grandma got it out of a 1950s Betty Crocker cookbook. It's in the cabinet. I had no idea, but a Mexican woman was making it. I thought it was a delicacy. No, she literally got it out of because it's a Campbell soup recipe. I had
Oh,
no
funny.
idea. I had,
No, I know that's like my grandpa's coleslaw recipe, but it was the one that was always on the back of the Hellman's mayonnaise jar.
exactly. I had no idea. I thought it was some delicacy. My mom was like, "Bro, that's like standard American food." I'm obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with it. It's just chicken and mushroom, chicken and celery, cream of rice. I mean, not cream of rice. It's like rice. It's just a bunch of stuff put together. It's the greatest thing ever.
Oh, you got your grandma's bouillon-based recipe before she passed. Good job getting a family
Absolutely.
recipe. Well, from a grandma A who was willing to share and actually had a recipe, and rather than like you just throw all this shit in a pan and it turns out like magic.
Maybe that's what my grandma like. She just didn't know what she was doing. Just people kept eating it, and she's like, "All right, I'll keep cooking for these fools." You know what though? I talk about it all the time. Like back then, things just tasted better because it came from her. She made cookies, but they were brand cookies. My sister called them Colin Blow cookies. I was obsessed with them. I love
Right?
those stupid things.
And then well, of course, because if you poop every day, you're always a little happier.
I I was born with the munchies. I have great taste buds. I'm one of those people like still to this day like I enjoy sitting down and eating. God, we're back to food.
I know we always get it's because we have like the dinner time stream. Like it's just that time of the day.
Isaiah, like he always asks me, "Can we go here?" And I'm like, "All right, we'll go this week." And he keeps notes. He's like, "All right, you said it. You said we're gonna go. Okay." And he's on this weird IHOP kick. And like today, when we were driving past it, he's like, "Can we go to IHOP?" I was like, "We'll go this week." He's like, "All right, I will remember. I will."
Right. The ups and downs of having a neurodivergent kid who gets into obsessed with particular things.
Oh, he forgets nothing. He forgets nothing.
No.
In my house, promise nothing you cannot provide or do within 5 or 6 business days.
If you can't oblige it, then don't say it. Yeah, yeah. Grandma's cookbooks are the best. Golden blow cookies, yum. Oh, skits, you're funny.
They were real, and she would put carrots and raisin. Like my grandma, she was old school. She wouldn't even put vanilla extract in it. Like they were brand. Like she was real. And the funny thing is, if someone made those for me now, I would be like, "Do you hate me? Did I insult you? Did I hurt your feelings?"
Well, you should get your labs done because you might actually need the bran cookies instead of the sugary ones. So.
You know, it's really funny. My health has gone downhill without my grandmother or my father in my life because they were like old world people who ate real food.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let's get a pizza. Let's get a. I grew up around people who grew up like on farm food, you know.
Right. Well, that's for a while. That's all you had, and it's so weird how canned food and processed food was a sign of that you were wealthy enough to be able to afford the fancy things, and now we're like, oh, they were just trying to poison us.
I ask that question all the time, Skits. Who hurt you? I I have a list actually.
We will be here until tomorrow's stream if we start to go through it.
I'm from the generation where we weren't allowed to have feelings. They beat our feelings out of us.
Yes, I did get yelled at for crying before.
Yeah. Isn't that, you know what's funny? You'll laugh, but like you could legitimately be jailed for telling your kid not to cry. This is the sewing kitchen. Kilroy, you keep on inventing stuff. You're going to have to become my manager.
I know Claire's going to have to start getting a cut. We're going to need some soup, some Rumble rants. Oh, I did get a comment over on Rumble, but it's somebody trying to promote their own stream. All right. Well, I don't know how I feel about that, but hey, somebody stop by on the Rumbles because we are live there if you think the YouTubes.
And for anyone who is watching on Rumble, I will be posting later and I will be adding extra content onto my Rumble video. When this stream is over, I'll be posting on YouTube. Well, hopefully, if they don't copyright strike me again, YouTube, y'all trying to get me to quit. You can't stop me. I'll just start doing live streams every 2 days. Watch out, YouTube. Watch out.
You asked for this. Challenge accepted.
Because I sew, all I do, like, I sew a lot. And now that I'm in management, I have nothing but time on my hands. I don't know how to be in charge.
Oh,
When I was on the tractor, I didn't have time to have a sewing machine in the office.
No, because you actually had to drive the tractor. That tractor doesn't drive itself.
Oh man, when they finally do invent one, we're all screwed. Everybody's out of a job when they finally do invent the one that can really drive by itself without a human and plow. Without a human, we're done. We're done as a species.
All right, I give up. I sewed this piece on, ripped it off because it was upside down, but my schmata coat of a magical colors is going to have some seams on the outside and some seams on the inside. I give up.
There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
I don't care.
Seriously, I could cover my eyes and pick a sweater and show you mistakes. I could literally go like this and just grab a piece. Just grab any piece in this room.
Let me just show you the errors. So we're going to actually, and if I just kept my mouth shut, nobody would notice when the whole thing's done. It's just that I'm looking at it right now. There are tractors that can drive themselves now using ultra-precise GPS, and then you'll end up in the lake.
Isaac Asimov was right. We're all screwed. I'm going to be like Will Smith in the movie, putting gas in his motorcycle. I'm going to be just like Will Smith in the movie. The book was better. You know what's so sad? I have the 1970s version of the book, too, because my brother read it first.
What?
That was one cool thing. Like, my brother was into The Hobbit. He was a geek, and so I inherited all his geek books.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh yeah. I remind him all the time. I have nine brothers and sisters. So if you ever hear me say my brother, there's one I put up with, and everybody else we don't get along.
Okay.
But imagine, I'm the youngest. Imagine if your brother is younger than your children.
Yeah, I've known families like that. That's always fun. Hello, Water Nye. Welcome to the
Hey.
Sunday Shenanigan shit show stream today. It's been a hot mess at the circus. The elephants have been pooping everywhere.
And I shaved, so I'm alternate universe sewing. Nice to meet you.
Right? We've got Dapper and we've got a hot mess. And all are welcome in the Schmata shop.
I had so much fun cleaning out my closet. I did. I found so much crud. I gave away a ton though. You know what's so funny? I thought that
Oh, Water Knee. Oh, I messed it up again. Damn it.
Water knee.
Water Knee.
My youngest brother is 9 months apart from my oldest daughter. See, that's what I'm saying, Abe. Like, it's weird. My niece, I could have went to high school with her, and so I tell her all the time, like, you don't have to call me uncle. It's weird. We're the same age.
Right.
We're the same age. It's the strangest thing. But my dad never. Oh, sorry. Keep going.
I was gonna say one of my friends from high school. She was the oldest. She had a whole bunch of brothers. We started college, so we were 18, and then she finally got the sister she waited her whole life for.
My brother, I think he's 22 years older than me, 23. Hold on. Yeah, because he's 60 something years old. Yeah, he's 20 something years older than I am.
Yeah, no procreating 3-year-olds. These things.
I finally watched the documentary about cyborgs and transhumanism that I've been avoiding, that I put in my watch later list. It was like this 45-minute documentary, but they were more or less coming from the standpoint of people who already had the technology in them now. Of like hands that move by thinking. They were showing the beneficial side of it. They weren't even arguing. They were just saying, this is what we use it for. And then they spend a half hour talking about how it could be used for bad and breeding humans.
Right, I know, because all of the veterans who've lost limbs and stuff, like there is a huge place for appendages.
Exactly. I did a paper on transhumanism in grad school. That's awesome. You know, I hear a lot of like negative or positive things about certain things, and I look into them and try to make an opinion for myself. Because I'm pro plastic surgery, I don't know. I'm anti having a computer chip that tells your credit score. Let's get that out of the way right now.
Yeah. I'm not ready to like scan my wrist to pay for things. Like the central bank digital currency, I'm not on board with that. I seriously, you're right. You like the potential, but my cynical ass knows us humans will use it for fucked up purposes. Yup.
And what if you get hacked and you forget grad school? Or what if you get hacked and they implant grad school that you never went to? And all of a sudden you're a fighter pilot, but you never went to school for it.
Or what if you get hacked and get depersoned, deplatformed, debanked, and you're like on the street? Like this is that movie. That was the book.
Gattaca?
Maybe no. 12 Monkeys? Maybe no. Why do I want to think about do androids dream of electric sheep? Blade Runner. Sorry, I had to think of the book, and then I had to come to the movie.
I have that. I have that on VHS somewhere in my sewing vault. I don't
The
know why
book
I haven't
is
watched that.
so good.
Have,
I need
has
some
it,
more
have you
Philip
seen the
K. Dick in my
movie?
life.
I'm sorry. Have you seen the movie Elysium with Matt Damon?
No, not yet.
It really Gattaca was awesome, Abe. Of course Elysium was a book, but it talks about that as well. It talks about transhumanism, but it's more from the cyborg standpoint where um only the rich people live in a ring above the planet. And everybody else, like Earth, is basically for poor people.
Oh, that was. What did we just watch? That was that. Oh, I'm getting all my shows. I've been watching. Oh, The Midnight Club on Netflix. Super sad, bizarre premise of these kids who have terminal cancers, and I call them kids. They're like 18-year-old adolescents. So they're not technically kids, but they move into this hospice, and their stories and adventures and misadventures was pretty good.
They're right here. Water knee? Water not. It's my accent. I can't speak English. They're right here.
I
And you know
know.
what? I wouldn't mind eyeballs as well. I wouldn't. And see, that's the
I,
thing. I'm pro plastic surgery. So if you offered me lungs that I could live longer, I'd take them. Take my lungs. Transhumanism right now. Give me new lungs. I'll take them right now, you know.
fear. I
But
have a
like
partly bionic ankle.
but how do you feel about people that get surgery to be taller?
Yeah, I think that's weird. See, I was not going to talk about trans surgeries and stuff today, but this
Well,
kind of
look,
is the same. Like,
Well, I don't consider that. Is that a? I don't consider like that a trans surgery because people of all walks of life are getting that. It hurts my knees. Like I watched something
it,
about that. It hurts.
yeah, I think if you had a legitimate growth hormone deficiency that wasn't managed with hormones, maybe. But are people who are wealthy enough or are scamming insurance companies enough getting surgeries for their body dysmorphia to fix their mental health issues or because they actually need the surgery?
Water nigh, water nigh, water nigh. And Kilroy, I would love to be the $6 million sewing man. My parents were old. I watched that show as a child because my mom was in love with that guy. I would love to be the six.
What are they?
It's water nay. I'm weird, like because I think because I grew up in LA, I'm pro like I'm not anti plastic surgery. If Madonna wants to look like a cat, go right ahead.
Right, right, I know, but I don't know.
She had a new music video out, and I felt weird because I clicked on it, and I'm like, and I thought to myself, when's the last time you clicked on a Madonna video? But
Not since like a
yay!
virgin.
Hey, Alibaba, how's it
Hey,
going?
all the friends have come out tonight.
But her
Let me
new.
catch up
Oh,
real
sorry. Go
quick.
ahead.
Oh, Kilroy. This is like that fan theory that the Jetsons and the Flintstones exist at the exact same time. I think that's true. That show looked like it was going to be upsetting, but it was good. It was good. It had some heart-wrenching moments, but it's not as depressing and like horrible as the initial 10 minutes makes it seem. Yeah, surgery is painful.
If you
Oh, and
take out
everybody's
like
doing it to me.
if you take all the politics behind surgery, like it hurts. It hurts. My mom had a mastectomy. Like it took her a long time to recover. Like it's surgery is no joke.
No, I had 3 procedures done on my ankle, and I literally was told you have to have your ankle above your heart for 23 hours a day for 2 weeks.
Oh, I can't. I would go crazy. I would go crazy.
And I still managed to exercise. I was very good on my crutch. And I had to relearn how to walk a little bit. People have the right
And
to
no,
look
I
the
can't
way they want
pronounce.
to look.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Let's see here. People have the right to look the way they want to look. I also have the right to find their extreme choices odd and physically unappealing. True. Yes, and I guess if you got the money, you can spend it however you want. But when it's on Medicaid's dollar, then I start to have some questions. But
Says someone who gives more than 33% away. I have, I have question. You know, it's really funny. I have a friend, okay, and she has become obscenely rich off of real estate. And she never, ever, ever says anything bad about anything except for every tax season. She's like, I should have been a robber. I should have been a white collar criminal. I don't know why I'm telling the truth. She's rich for real, and she pays more money in taxes than I make. Like she's rich. Like she's rich for real. So for as much as I cry about how much money I pay in taxes, I don't pay as much as some people do, I guess. And yes, the LA Unified School District is one of the only places on earth where you can graduate with full honors and not speak English or know how to read.
okay, I'm gonna leave on my confused face because one of those
That,
things makes sense. The other one, I'm like, yeah, kind of have to be able to read, don't you?
oh, that's actually one of the new criticisms. When the mayor came in, she was like, "I promise our high school graduates will be able to read," and everybody was like, "That's a thing." Like they're graduating and not knowing how to read. But if you think about it, like I write in cursive, and everyone under my age can't read my notes at the job. I literally got a memo that said, "Hey, bro, you have to write in slow hand."
Oh God. I know they're going to have to change the mini mental status exam at some point in the not too distant future because one of the things is drawing a clock face, and kids don't know how to read a real clock.
I agree with you, Waternay. That's the problem. You know what? Everybody has body issues. I have body issues. I'm odd-bodied. I am 5'9" with the wingspan of someone who is 6'2". I am sitting way far away from the computer, and I can reach out and type right here, like, and I'm way back. You know, everybody. I make my own clothes because I'm odd-bodied. You know, like
Yeah, standard sizing is a stupid lie, though, in the first place, because I will never be more than 5'1", and I'm lying and when I say I'm 5'1".
whenever I say my height, people say, "Oh, you're really 5'8". I say I'm 5'9", and I'm like, they're like, "Oh, so you're really 5'8"? And I'm like, "No."
No, I'm actually telling the truth, but thanks for...
See, and here's the thing: we do not push children to read like they used to because of the internet, because they're reading short little sentences or paragraphs.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not kidding you; it was a big deal when I was a kid when I read The Stand because it was a freaking brick. You know.
I know. I don't know. I always grew up around books, and we were just encouraged to read, so I was always reading above my age level and appropriateness.
Oh, same. My parents always had awesome books too. My dad was big on like biology books, so I was always like I had my nose in something.
Oh, let's see here. Oh, that freaks me out. Kids don't know how the hell to read a damn clock. It's true. Everything's digital. I can read a 400-page novel at age 9. I don't. I can't. I've been reading since literally before I could talk. Good for you. I was slow to read, but once I got it, then you couldn't. I wouldn't leave without a book. It's not a brag. Nobody says, "Hey, you're bragging." 5'8.5", trusty AR. Good for you.
Wait, like honestly, Abe, honestly, with my shoes off, we're probably eye to eye. We're probably like exact same. That's 5'9". That
Right.
you're
But
5'9".
the good thing about cowboy boots, that 1.5-inch lift always makes you look a little taller.
Oh, people think I'm huge. It's my boots.
But that's probably so true, Allie. The books of tomorrow will only be 200 characters long. Right. The books are going to be tweets.
I read Scientific American. And I guarantee you people probably consider that like a book. I get Scientific American every month. And
They
yeah, I'm
still
a
publish?
magazine reader. Yeah. I do you know what's so sad? Do you know the last significant other I had caught me. They were like, okay, it's okay to hoard, it's fine. They were like, you have every back issue of Scientific American from 2010 or something crazy. I do. I do. And I still get it. And I renew it every year. I didn't read half of 2020. I was so depressed. I didn't read half of them. I was so scared.
Oh, well, I found a new white pill in Eric Weinstein, Brett Weinstein. He's a former professor at Evergreen University. Did I talk about this last week? He actually studied weird bats and has some interesting. I just like listening to people who are smarter than I am on things. Let's see, here was, I think every kid today needs a library day where you turn up the computer and make the kid walk to the library and carry 5 pounds of books up the hill both ways in a snowstorm. Yes. I seriously met kids who thought The Hunt for Red October was a really long book. It's only 400 pages. That's a weekend read at most. There. I just don't sit on my butt that long. Like, I usually read on my Kindle app on my phone in the middle of the night when I have insomnia. Which
I
may
read
be a lot.
I still read to Isaiah. I'll blaze through a 400-page book. I'll read like Star Trek books. Those are good 500-600 pages. See, but I'm really into it, so I'm like, oh, I don't want to stop because it's like an episode I've never seen,
Right.
because there's so many books I haven't read them all. So every time I read a new book, I'm like, oh gosh, this is actually interesting.
I did just start watching the Dark Horse podcast. I watched my first one the other day because I saw Brett was on with Viva and Barnes on vivabarneslaw.locals.com as I show other stations besides our own. Yeah, the Dark Horse podcast. So it's Brett and his wife Heather, and he's an ex-biology professor, has got a number of different, what's his PhD? He's a PhD who had some shit hit the fan at Evergreen University and is just really smart. Oh, let's see here, Waternay. I was so upset. I was clearing put a whole file box of Martha Stewart Living magazines on the curb. Then I found out they sell for at least face value. You tossed out $500 of magazines.
I've actually made money off of old magazines, and I've said this before on many live streams. I still have over 200 or 300 Playboys from the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
I think my human may have looked at some of those same ones.
Especially the women from the 70s, I have to Google them and like, who is this person? Because I have no idea who this person is.
Right. Wasn't there the one with Jane Fonda?
I probably have. That
one's worth money.
A long time ago, because of television, my pops and I, we bought the rights to a foreclosed house, and I walked in and there was thousands of comic books and magazines, and I made hand over fist money. I was swimming in it. Then I got a divorce and spent all of it.
Right. Yeah, their podcast was, I enjoyed it when it showed up. I'll probably catch them some more. Because I like long form stuff, which is why we stream for 3.5 to 4 hours when my wave kicks me off and says, you gotta go home.
Bro, excuse me, your camera's finally working.
Yeah, my computer hates me. It's not even my nice camera. I feel like I don't look as nice. I so like my real camera and not the camera in my computer.
Interesting study on how popular bodies have changed. Yes, if you see the body shapes from the 70s, that's what I call real human. Like they had all shapes, sizes, nothing was enhanced. It was, the way you came out of the ground.
Right. Our tech hadn't evolved that much yet.
Not even exercises, because I go to a grocery store that's right next to a gym, and it is so strange to see how people who only work on their butt. There's this
Yeah.
thing where women only do leg day, and it's not just women.
Oh, right. And like all the hip thrusts. Oh my God, those weird little TikTok girls who are like complaining about the people. If you wear revealing clothes to the gym, somebody's going to look at you. You can't complain if you're wearing a bra top that doesn't have your titty covers on and then complain.
I might have that issue, Alibaba. I swear, I probably have that issue. I swear. Okay, really quickly about the gym. In my town, it is known that there's a certain gym for all the thirsty people, and then there's another gym where they're like, please come here to work out because we will berate you. If you pull out your cell phone and you're not just picking a song, we're going to say something to you.
Right. Don't take, it's the same with the people who set up their phones or cameras and film at like the Lowe's or Hobby Lobby. Like, did you ask permission? Do you have a form that says that people give consent to be in your videos because you're taking up space in the checkout aisle at the store? Like, just don't.
I agree. You mean that hair?
The 80s wasn't real. No, that was called hairspray and a death wish.
We are in the age of the ass, Kilroy. We are. Kim Kardashian ushered in. That's the one thing I like about Kim Kardashian, is that she ushered in the age of more pear-shaped bodies, and I'm here for it all day long. I'm okay. People who are naturally like that, not like her and her sister who can literally afford to buy new bodies.
Yeah. It's called exercise and a healthy diet. Like this.
In the African American community, on a lot of stuff I watch, they always jokingly say, they're like, Kim Kardashian got a whole new head. She didn't get a new face. She got a whole new head. I love it when people say that. They're like, she didn't get plastic surgery. She got a whole new head. We live in the era of skin jobs, like Battlestar Galactica.
Right. So this is Skinwalker Ranch.
And I agree, Waternay. There is looking good, and then there are people who get the two confused. I agree.
Yes.
And excessive, to me, there's no difference between having a drug habit and excessively working out.
No, they call it bigorexia. And the same with plastic surgery. Like, we talked about this before. Like, it's the opposite. Well, it came out of the 80s when gay men were afraid to be skinny and sickly looking because of the HIV/AIDS stigma. So they got themselves juiced to the gills on testosterone, anabolic steroids, and like needed to look huge. That's another funny weird tangent. How all of the bodybuilding women who juice a little bit get accused of being men, but they are like the girliest girls, like will wear the highest heels, the shortest skirts, the biggest nails, the most makeup, and they're like, we are not men.
It's because physiologically speaking, steroids, they make their jaw becomes bigger. It happens to
it does, and their voices drop, and they get enlargement below the belt and stuff. Like, this steroids really do change you.
Oh yeah. If you ever get bored, look up Jackie Joyner Kersee or Gail Devers. You can literally see in pictures how they changed over time because they were both openly doping in the 90s.
Yeah.
Openly. And Alibaba, in America, Shannon Tweed is famous because she was a very famous B porn actress. So anyone who grew up with HBO or Showtime knows Shannon Tweed. I grew up.
Bodybuilding doesn't screw up your body necessarily. It's the drugs that some people do with bodybuilding that screws up your body. And I mean, at least in the men's open category, like, it doesn't matter whether you're carrying around 300 pounds of fat or 300 pounds of muscle. Being over 300 pounds is a problem, regardless of the composition of it, because your heart really can't take that. But Nick Walker looks jacked right now. Oh my God, that boy's huge.
Yeah, but that's not a sustainable body. Like, I know a welder that could rip a car part off of, like his forearms are ripped because he's doing this all day and grabbing
Yeah.
stuff, you know what I'm saying, or holding himself up, but his belly, he looks like he's 6 months pregnant.
Well, yeah, right, you can be jacked, but you still, that's why the calorie deficit part is important.
It's just, I recently saw this thing that made me feel better about myself because I work out to sustain a certain quality of life, but they're basically saying like when you see somebody at a certain point, they took a picture of their body because they can't sustain it. Like when they have the jacked 8-pack and their pecs are perfect and they're ripped, they worked out to become that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly. That's why they have an in-season and an off-season, where some of them get sloppy and fat in the off-season, and some of them, like my favorite bodybuilding coach Greg, preaches main gaining. Like, you get to a body that, or a scale weight that's eating an amount that you can eat and an amount that you can exercise that's sustainable, and you can build muscle from there. You don't need to go into these bulking and cutting phases, because that's basically yo-yo dieting, and that's not healthy. So, but you can eat and build muscle without needing to bulk.
Somebody that I absolutely love and respect, someone I grew up with, who honestly didn't have to be like, he was really popular throughout like every phase of his life, and he always took me under his wing. He always made sure everybody knew that I was his neighbor. He was a good guy. His brother, someone I've also known my whole life, is 5'5". He's older than me, and he decided to become a bodybuilder later in life. He's probably 45, 46 by now. He looked good for a couple of years, but now he's got that, like, I used to be buff dad bod. You know what I'm saying? Where he still looks good, but like it's just not sustainable is what I'm trying to say.
You have to keep working at it. Yeah, like the muscle memory's there, but you have to want to like show up and do the work. And
he looked good, and he won a couple competitions and everything.
Awesome. Yeah, it is hard on the body.
That's why I try to maintain certain workouts, like walking, and I do my 50 push-ups a day. Like, I try to maintain it, and I eat a certain, I eat a obscene amount of fruits and vegetables. I'm literally choke them down. Because I'd rather be eating chili fries.
Well, you can add the chili spices to your fruits and vegetables. It's supposed to taste good.
No, I know. Oh, that reminds me. I gotta make sure I have ones. The ice cream truck is even coming around with their $3 ice creams again.
It's not hot enough here right now. If it's not 100 degrees, there's no ice cream at my house.
I am Captain Splurge. And that's not in moderation either.
No, everything in moderation, including moderation.
It's part of my problem. I'm like, I'm the real life Homer Simpson, where I'm like, let's just do it and see what happens.
You're Homer in the sub. I can keep eating this 6-foot sub for 3 days and get salmonella. It doesn't matter.
Okay, so I got food poisoning a long time ago from this restaurant in my town. Gosh, it was over 10 years ago. First, I have never gone back, and I do not play. When it, like in my fridge, man, if it's even near its expiration date, it's gone.
Right. Yes, we are circles, and I do like the circle diet. I am a circle.
I grew up doing dance and gymnastics. I like a healthy, functioning body, not some guy who is jacked and Yes.
Yeah, flexibility is important. I think the best Well, no, circus artists have their own. Some of them are anorex, have weird eating disorders.
I was about to say I've known some gymnasts, and they're like you don't want to follow their. I know someone that was like a real life gymnast, and their eating habits were like borderline. You need professional help.
Yeah, probably more than borderline, but
Being
yes.
nice. I'm being nice in case they ever
Right,
watch
right,
this.
because there's no medical advice here. No.
No, I actually know. I actually know some semi successful people. Some people that have been in the World Series. That person, Linda, her daughter is a real life opera singer. It's weird when I go places with her. Like, people walk up to her, and they know her, and like I'm not in the opera scene like that.
Yeah. Oh, just got the ice cream bowl for your KitchenAid. That sounds like I might need to look into the Ninja ice cream maker, but my kitchen is powered by Ninja. I think tonight, if I put out a pack of ice cream outside, it would still be a block in the morning. Oh, I'm sorry, my friends in Canada. I was going to call you Kanakistan again. I'm sorry.
Alexa, what's the temperature right now?
Right now, it's 68 degrees Fahrenheit.
And that's night. Like the sun's going down.
That wasn't even our high today. The next week is going to be like 60s and rainy here.
It's supposed to. So we're probably getting that storm that you're talking about because it's supposed to rain in the next couple of days.
Oh, I know. This is like late for you guys to have rain. You're like, what is this stuff coming from the sky? You don't live here.
It's been 90 degrees every day. It's summer again. I'm wearing long sleeve because it was under 70 today.
You can just shove it.
Oh, you guys would laugh at me in cold weather cities. Like I would be shivering. I've been to Michigan. I was freezing the entire time. The more
You
north,
would not. Alibaba would laugh, or Alibaba and Kilroy would laugh at you. You could not stand a winter on the East Coast.
I'm skinny. I just come layered. I'll just come layered like a Cosby
Right.
kid.
Yeah, right, the kid from A Christmas Story. Whoa. Let's see. I know that is cold. I just grew up tinkering and building shit in the garage and biking for miles out in the country. Tinkering and building shit is an intensely physical activity. I concur. It is getting better for us Canucks. I know, but did C11 pass? Like, are you guys super screwed in your social media? Like, Trudeau, what Viva says about Trudeau, oh my god, he got into so many fights this weekend. What is it? The Sikh guy who's, oh, your politicians are as bad as ours are.
It's gonna be snowing where you live, Gilroy. I pulled my kiddie pool out 3 days ago because it's been so hot. And a couple years ago, I bought a pool for Isaiah, and he slowly outgrew it. It's my size. The pool is 5'9" on the inside. I lay in that thing. It's sensory deprivation because I lay in it. I love that stupid thing. It's been so hot, I pulled the pool back out.
Oh, I am so sorry that C11 passed. That's like your guys' version of the Restrict Act, which this is not a political station, but if you want anything to be free, please contact your representatives and tell them that the Restrict Act needs to go die in hell and then burn and then throw a pile of shit on it.
So, I know you've been talking about it since the day I met you. What is C11?
So C11, Ailey's will correct me if I get anything wrong, but it is for the promotion of Canadian like you have to have enough Canadian content. So they're trying to basically censor what Canadians can say on social media.
Oh, come on,
and it's
Canada.
A lot of,
I got the shirt on. Come on, Canada.
Yeah, it's gonna kill is killing Canadian YouTubers. And what does it even mean, Canadian content? Like, if you don't have enough raccoons and maple syrup, you're not going to be
Have
they're
you
not
not
going to
seen
promote
that?
your content.
Have you seen the Canada? I get a lot of travel commercials because I watch a lot of their news. I think if you watch their news, they try to get you to go there. And like whenever I click on anything that has to do, I watch Sky News in England, and of course I watch CPN in Canada. I think it's CBN. But anytime I click on it, they try to sell me, travel agencies, and the Canada ad comes up every time. So you're tripping me out because they have a really diverse cast, but they're all doing these really stereotypical Canadian things. They're all wearing plaid. They're all like it's really weird. And I've been there, and honestly, Vancouver, Canada. I hate to tell people, Vancouver, Canada is like LA. You can get shot in like Vancouver is no joke. Yes,
Exactly.
exactly.
Oh, I'm glad you finally had some warm weather. 62 is not warm, but it's warmer than it has been. I know. See, Ellie is right. What is Canadian content? We have every nationality here. I know, and back at the turn of the century, you guys had the posters of like trying to lure Ukrainians, which is why there's a huge Ukrainian population in Canada, because they're like, we will pay you to come to Canada. Stay safe, Liz. And what? We just tried to bus up a whole bunch of illegal immigrants from New York City, and they're like, here, we don't want you. We'll take the bus over to Canada, please.
But you know what the funny thing is? The Canadians will take them, shame us, and treat them better.
I don't know, because I don't know, Trudeau and what is it? What's his name? I can't think of it. I just know he's a Sikh.
That's so scary when your government wants to control what you say. Like, that's game over.
Well, and it already does because the CBC is government funded. So their biggest news agency is a talking piece for the government.
But in America, like our PBS is extremely critical of the government on both sides. Like NPR talks trash about Joe Biden.
Well, I know, and then they're like, but we don't take money from the government.
They do. They know they do. They know. I get so mad when people lie about that. I'll be right back.
I know they just want to enforce a narrative that is government sponsored. Right, we did that one. Let's see here. My grandparents moved to Canada after World War II with the oldest kids, so I used to go up there to visit relatives. I do not have the romanticized idea of Canada that people seem to have. Oh, Jamit Singh, yes. Singh, I knew you would remember that horrible human. Jamit Singh, yes. It was like right on the. I just hear, David Freiheit Viva seeing his name all. He's got all the things he used to say, but he left. He ran away from Quebec to Florida, but he's only on a 3-year visa, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, let's see here. My dad loved going to Canada to fish for walleye when I was a kid. I didn't get to go, but he said it was seriously like America. It's not better or worse. It's true. Canada is just our weird step relative to the north. We're basically the same. Except we don't have French as one of our national languages.
No wonder a neighbor of mine made a comment one time about they can tell which house was mine because I had fog coming out of my garage. Every time I come in here, I don't notice it because I'm in this room. If you guys ever want to drive down your property value, buy a fog machine and hang out in your front yard.
Oh, walleye fishing. I just miss going to Toronto for cheap shopping and to go see shows because where I grew up, it was faster to drive to Toronto than it was to get to New York City, and it was less expensive back in the way back days when dinosaurs roamed the earth.
I am Joe.
You're sending up smoke signals. And we're on with the cultural appropriation portion of the evening.
My video, I actually talk about that. As Westerners, we can't help but do it. So, that's why I brought it up in my video, because I'm obsessed with African prints. I'm obsessed with Southeast Asian prints, and they sell them at Hobby Lobby. It's not like I'm going to I don't know. At this point, I no longer know what cultural appropriation is. I am literally from the West. I eat Thai food. I'm obsessed with Filipino food and Armenian food. Is that cultural appropriation?
I know there's a fine line between appropriation and appreciation, and we were built on being this giant melting pot of everybody. And my family, when they moved here, they were like, we're not going to speak our traditional languages. We're giving up all of our stuff because we want to lean into being an American. And then there's the other families who are like, and we need to hold firm to these things. So I think it goes all ways.
I agree. Gilroy.
Yes. We are about imitating, because imitation is the greatest form of flattery, right? We love it, so we're going to steal it and make it our own.
Look at the UK. I used to get in arguments with the Brits all the time. I'd ask them, what in your culture did you invent? And then they'd get quiet. And they'd be like, we made our own version of curry. And I'd be like, where did curry come from?
Right. This whole thing about this coronation chicken that is basically chicken curry salad.
And that's okay. I like tea. And I don't consider it a cultural thing.
Oh, that's funny. What? Forget cologne, you wear eau de herbs.
So this is one thing, ever since pot's become legal, because I'm from the generation of where everything was illegal, so it's weird. I still wash my hands. See, I'm obsessive about hygiene. So, I try not to go in public smelling bad at all. But I do have it, if anything hangs out in this room, it reeks of marijuana, and I don't realize it till I go in public. But the best ever, though, is when Isaiah was little. Kids have no filter. He was in line with his mom one time, and a guy must have had an eighth in his pocket or something, and he kept on tapping on his mom, and he's like, Mom, that guy smells like Daddy. She still to this day brings that story up because he reeked of pot. That's when she asked the question, are we the baddies? Are we villains? Are we villains?
Oh. I don't think, probably not anymore. Britain's got no idea. They took over all the big spice countries and they still eat all that bland food. I know. Scotch eggs are not British. But we had a coffee explosion. Just happened. Don't spit on the keyboard. Turn your head.
No, this room. No, I'll go up like poof. I'll go up like a puff of smoke in this room with all the electricity surging in there. No, it's true about the UK. But as Americans, we're not too far behind. Everything we do is adopted. That's why and I even say it in my video, I do not disrespect people's culture, but I'm a Westerner. So if I feel like I'm doing it in an appropriate way, I'm not going to ask for permission from anyone. I used to make totem poles in my woodworking days, I just made things that meant something to me.
Oh, yeah, no, I know it. The whole thing about the indigenous First People hoop dance stuff, and that was actually one of the first places where I saw hula hooping was at the powwow at the local. It wasn't even it's not a reservation. It's a local cultural historical site, and we used to go every year. So I learned how to do traditional beadworking and different things, and I've incorporated the techniques. I don't use their colors or their patterns, but the skill set is still is transferable.
It's about acknowledgement. You can't claim But Bantu knots are your own unique hairdo, like that runaway show. Okay, see, I agree with that. It's also discretion too. Like with my battle vests, I always say don't wear anything you're not willing to fight over. Like somebody will call you out. Like let's see if I can do it without unplugging my computer. In certain neighborhoods, that jacket would get you shot on sight because it's blue and it looks like a big bandana. And the red one will get you beat up.
On the other side, right? One neighborhood, don't wear this color. The other neighborhood, don't wear the other color.
But I live in the burbs, so I'm an old guy who's like, oh, these are awesome coats that I'm making for So Frugal, to represent, But it's part of my culture, though, is what I'm trying to say. So it wasn't necessarily cultural appropriation because it's a part of people that I live around, things that I've seen or been a part of. I don't know where that, but if someone came from Ohio and did that, I don't know. I might say something, but maybe they have the same experience that I do, and I'm no one to judge. That's the problem. I dated a young lady who has been to Africa more times than any African American I ever met. She had been from Egypt all the way to South Africa, traveled through the entire continent. There's not too many people that can brag about that,
Yeah, I was gonna say it's really nice, but be careful where you wear that.
Oh yeah, around here, you better know that hand signal. But this is the shirt that I recently made. I love this shirt. But when I made my scarf, it caused so much controversy that I took a while to make this shirt. And then I was like, what am I waiting for? Like, why do I care what people think? I dress crazy anyway. I literally walked into my local grocery store with a kilt on and no one flinched. No one. Because they expect me to wear crazy stuff.
Yeah, and it kind of goes back to we're touchy about the wrong things. Like, what? I don't know where I was going. No, I do know. I just don't have the way to articulate how I'm feeling right now.
Like, I'm less sensitive towards things because I'm a person of color. Do you think it's depending on who the person is? And also, I was raised in the suburbs, so I have a different opinion than somebody who was raised in the city, than someone who was raised out in the middle of Maine, or because we're getting back into stereotypes. Like, I see a lot of gatekeeping online, and I'm like, that's not what black people. Black is a color, is a skin color. It's not a, you know what I'm saying? It's not a way you act. It's not performative. It's
right?
Not performance.
Yeah.
Oh, Waternay. Last time I made a scarf with an African print, I got hate mail on Twitter. I have weird stalkers. Somebody sends me pictures of their D, and I think it's the same person who goes online, pulls pictures off, and just sends me pictures.
He's not even brave enough to send their own. They're like, does this one have a Prince Albert and a can? All right, let's send this one today.
They've been sending me D pictures for over 3 or 4 years. And I blocked 6 or 7 accounts, and I just now, like, they're dedicated to me. Somebody is... and this is back when I had 90-something subscribers, they've been sending me D pics for years and years. And when I made that scarf with the Kente print, people were sending me hate mail on Twitter. But Twitter is different because I expected it. But like, someone watched my video, then went on my Twitter to curse me out. And
they were really hate watching you.
That's what I'm saying. And they even said, I'm not subscribed to you. Then why do you care, sir or ma'am? Why do you care?
Right.
Why, And they don't even know that, like if you really want to get down to it, my father had direct African ancestry because he was like he came from real slaves and they did not deviate. Like my father came from like real African ancestry, Connected.
Oh, why would They'd be upset about an African American wearing an African print. Yeah.
That's
they,
what drives me crazy.
Oh God, are they big or micro? Oh God.
It's a
Kill 'em.
collage. It's a collage of like I like to call soft cookies to hard cookies. It's a collage.
Oh
It's
my
been
God.
3
You should make a Rumble montage of all the pics and just be like, and here's the.
I've been threatening it. I've been threatening it for 3 years. I was going to, and I'm going to out this person too. I just want to find their main account because it has to be. I think it's one person claiming to be a bunch of different people.
It could
Because
be.
every time I block them, I get the same style, or it's just a really crazy, racist, angry, horny bot following me.
Maybe.
A gatekeeping bot that's sending me pics. I don't know. Whoever it is, they have been dedicated to me. Part of me thinks it's the same person who sent me the Brother PE 535.
Oh, that would be really funny.
And
He
they
sent
like
you.
they secretly love hate me. Like they love hate me. The Brother PE 530. That's not cheap. It's not a cheap machine. I looked it up. They spent some coin on me.
Yes.
Are they looking for constructive criticism? You know, if you're on the internet long enough, people feel entitled to critique you. That's just the way it is. That's just I actually watched what do you call it? I'm obsessed with this podcast called Sloppy Seconds, and they interview the D list of the internet. It is the D list. And they were just basically saying no matter who you are, somebody is either hate watching you, obsessed about you, or fantasizing about you.
Yeah, do some stretching exercises.
Yeah. If you saw me in front of my house, you'd think I was a crazy person. I stretch. I call it high chi. I smoke a joint and stretch. I love doing my high chi. I bet my neighbors are like, dude, they're like, how does this guy afford to live here? What is this crazy person? Smoking a J, stretching. At least I do it with pants on. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. I agree, Kilroy. And also, like the LGBTQIA plus community, some people there's a really parasitical relationship with allies and weirdos and like creeps in general. They think just because you're a part of a certain community that they're allowed to do weird things to you. Or if you hang out with people in a certain community, they can do anything they want to you. And I dare you to run up. I'm only nice on the internet. I dare you.
Yeah, this whole weird fake ally stuff is another issue.
Oh, it drives me crazy. Like, if you don't like somebody, it's okay to not like them.
But I don't want to be liked by everybody. You know where the exits are? You can click the off button, or I will take your hate watch, like, and comment and please subscribe on Locals, YouTube, and Rumble. They want your commentary on their length and girth, or maybe they're hoping you will say something and they can see if they match up with your taste. Oh,
I was trying to find what the person looks like, and I'm going to do one of those collages where I get every dick pic they ever sent me to make it look like that person's face. And when they zoom in, it's every D pic they ever sent me.
oh, that's funny.
Someone has obsessively, and it's because I started streaming almost 4 years ago now, because I did the real math, and some of my videos are starting to hit 2 years on like and that's when I like officially broke off from the community. 2 years. God, it's been 2 years since I told the community to F off.
Right. So true, Kilroy. If you're liked by everybody, you're doing it wrong. I like this statement by Nietzsche: you can love me or hate me, just don't be indifferent.
My father used to always tell me, 1950s, 1960s Navy, if you have a job and everyone likes you, you're doing something wrong.
Yep.
He'd tell me that all the time. He'd tell me that all the time. I live by that. You have enemies, good. That means that you stood up for something. I like that. I like that. You know why? It's because I won't let people bully me. And like, I just won't, and it's because my voice. I have the Mike Tyson effect. I don't sound how I look, and so I sound really sweet, but I'm like that stuffed animal with teeth.
But you look like an asshole.
Yeah. Well, it's my brows. It's my European ancestry. It's my brows.
But at least you don't have the unibrow, because I've learned you don't trust the human with a unibrow because they're probably a werewolf.
Oh man, LA would scare you. There are some people rock the unibrows here. There's body positivity in LA. LA would scare you.
They're called tweezers and razor blades, please.
And you can legally walk around with your boobs out at restaurants in LA and San Francisco. So LA is a crazy place. It's body positivity.
Yeah, I you can be positive about your own body how you like it, but I like mine to be a certain way, and I'm not going to finish that sentence. So we'll go to Killer Ray's comment. Are you going to start rocking the lisp now? I don't have one, so I'm not going to pretend.
When I was a kid, I used to talk like this, and then I got speech therapy and learned how to open my mouth. I still do sometimes, if I get lazy. Speech therapy works. I say it every time. Speech therapy works, kids.
Yeah.
I have a good friend who never got speech therapy, and he still talks like Sylvester. We call him JC. In the African American community, it means goofy because he's 6'3", and he's odd, but no one would say anything to him because he's bigger than everybody else.
Fair. Because I don't remember what that was in reference to.
So that happens to me all the time because I smoke. Like, I'll say something and then the chat will move on, and I'm like, oh, crud. Please reference a reference because I don't get your reference.
Oh, that's good. I would rather self-expression through clothing instead of exhibitionism. Adrian! Oh, God. And we've got a Rocky reference.
Do you know, it's funny that we're talking about this because I go back and I watch my videos. I still talk out of the side of my mouth like this. I talk like Kira Sedgwick. I do. I don't even know why. It's the strangest thing. Maybe I had a stroke in my sleep and just don't know it.
Maybe. It's so funny when I pull up my other YouTube that I watch on the TV and I see, I'm like, oh my God, that's my stream. Or, oh my God, I'm on that stream. It took me a long time to be able to watch myself, like, from old performances, hooping or different acts. I've not been brave enough to, like, rewatch a live stream. I'm like, and you've been put to bed.
It is weird to watch your own nomenclatures, the way you speak. It's weird. I tore myself apart. That's why I don't say and like, I said and like a lot.
Yeah, I try not to say and I don't like it if I make funny noise. Oh, something about not trusting unibrow people. Right, because they're werewolves. That's the old myth. It's the old Eastern European. Unibrows mean you're a werewolf. So that's why I don't trust them.
So the Eastern Europeans just thought Northerners were vampires? Because basically the Northerners are the ones with the Northeast. Yeah, basically the Northeast.
Right. I've recorded myself before. I'm like, what the fuck? You can't talk. Yeah, it took me. Well, besides my computers not being able to, like, have enough CPU power to do any editing, you do have to, like, get over yourself when you pre-record and edit videos and you hear about all the things of yourself that you're like, I hate the way that sounds. Oh, that's gross. Oh, and then you're like, well, it's just me, which is why I just show up in live stream, but I'm all right laughing with myself. I'm not a werewolf. I'm 12% Neanderthal DNA. Well, congratulations, Allie.
Phoenix, I don't know if you know this, but I have a strange voice. And so when I first heard myself back, I was like, oh, I really do sound how people like, because people try to tell me nice. They're like, you sound different, it's my voice. I don't. And then I heard myself and I'm like, oh, wow, I really do sound like that. I got over it.
I did too. I know. I was like, because how you sound to yourself when you're talking is not how you sound when
Oh
you're
yeah.
recorded. I made a YouTube video. It was really difficult to edit all the times I said so. Yeah, I learned from early on saying it's better to, if you don't know what to say, better to take a conscious pause than do a or some funny mouth thing. Just take a break. It's okay. Don't fear the silence.
In my videos, I have to take a breath sometimes because I talk so fast I get ahead of what I'm saying. So I get it. It's okay to take a knee. Oh, see, why did Will Smith have to go and slap Chris Rock? I have a bunch of really cool Will Smith quotes because Will Smith would talk about like sometimes it's okay to take a knee, like sometimes it's okay to collect yourself. You know,
Right? And now
he
he's just cuckolded and to his
okay.
friends, to his kid's friend who's sleeping with his like, oh my god.
So they got rid of Red Table Talk, but
Right?
YouTube, that whole Facebook TV thing is dead. They got rid of all those shows because the writer strike is coming up and their contracts are done. But the worst thing that ever happened to Will Smith was his wife telling the truth about their life on Facebook.
Right, and admitting that she never got over Tupac. She is still in love with a dead man who's not coming back to her.
She's obsessed with Tupac to the point where it bothers me. It bothers me when she talks about him because, like, let the poor man, like, let him be gone. Like, and in the African American community, I call Tupac the Black Elvis. They will not let him go.
He's returned and is rapping on the corners.
Oh, they see him, like people see him everywhere. And Will Smith is a wiener. I do not like Will Smith. He was my hero.
He is pussy. Yes.
And
There
I'm
is
gonna
no
say this.
Go ahead.
Sorry. And this is all allegedly, just so Phoenix and I don't get sued. Allegedly. But Will Smith is gay and he needs to get over it. Come to the dark side. We have cookies. We have all kinds of cool stuff. We have fast cars too. Get over
Right,
it.
there's no all sides are the same side. If you don't like the toy box you're playing in, just go play in a different toy box. Like it's A-OK.
And I think because I invested so much in Will Smith, it hurts my feelings. Like just like Ozzy. When I was a kid, I literally followed Ozzy around. Then his show came on, and I'm like, oh, you're a real person, and you have rendered yourself mentally ill from all the drugs and loud music.
Well, the Parkinson's didn't help either. He does actually have real neurological issues.
But this was before we knew. This was before,
This
you
is
know.
true. So Ellie, you're saying you're a hairy human. Is that what I'm going to infer from the 12% Neanderthal? You need to go see the back waxer. Sorry, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just.
And because people stalk all stars, Will Smith travels around with a man 9 months out of the year.
Isn't that just his bodyguard?
He has other bodyguards. I'm just gonna say this, okay? As someone who's bi-coastal, if you see me traveling around with someone for 9 months, we're together. We are together. We're an item. 2 grown adults.
Oh, let's see here. Some people do have a high concentration, though 12% would be a lot. Oh, right, because there is Neanderthal DNA in some folks.
In all of us.
Well,
yes, if you don't have African. Sorry.
I'm going to have to start saying 30%. The trouble is that some people are so judgmental. People in public eye are stuck in a difficult place. Here.
True.
It's a great example of why you need to know when to call it quits with the drugs. Here.
Okay, so I agree with what Waternay is saying, but like it's so different because we judge people by our standards. So I'm sitting here Monday morning quarterback saying I wouldn't do this or this. But if I had Will Smith's money, I would be having this live stream from my helicopter. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, because I would be doing extravagant stuff. When a couple years ago, I came into a buck or two and I started doing extravagant stuff and started going to Vegas all the time and wearing Italian suits, which I still have in my closet right now, which my son is going through actually right now.
I was going to say that is going to be on the little preacher soon, the sewing preacher.
He was like, oh, this vest is nice. I said, of course it's nice. It was made that way. Like, respect it. You can keep it forever.
Oh, well, sloping forehead, unibrow, protruding lower jaw, it can make a club very easily since a young fellow. Okay, my internet, or not my internet, my streaming software is going to kick us off in 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that my East Coast friends, it is probably getting close to or past people's bedtime, so I will respect folks' time and not take up more than that. But I appreciate everybody who's come out and hung out. Oh, Armani, the official suit of Normanism.
I will be preaching Normanism tomorrow night. Everybody come on down,
You'll hear
7
more
o'clock.
about the Church of Normanism. And what do you have to shill, young man?
Tomorrow, 7 o'clock, tomorrow night, be there, be square, Godless Sewing Channel. We'll have the same old Monday Night Mayhem. And when I get around to it, after I go and raid my kitchen, I will be releasing a video this evening. So it'll be My So-Called Life is sponsored by.
Awesome. Don't wait until tomorrow when you can be fabulous today, and don't laugh at others unless you've laughed at yourself. Please, if you like, hate, don't like, do all the YouTube-y, rumbly things. I appreciate you. Be awesome, and I'll catch you next time at the circus. Bye.
See you tomorrow.